guys, finally we are back to Mr. Sancho's. After 15 months, it's open. Really the first cruise ship to get to Cozumel, and so everybody's excited. We got the whole crew here.
Holy cow! Oh,
look at this.
Look at that.
What is it? What are we looking at?
He wet his pants.
John wet his pants and fish appeared.
Fish appeared.
Something's fishy around here.
How do
So
you
we
get fish in
know
your
fish
pants?
suddenly appeared, John. Something's wrong.
Thank you so much. Oh, good, a little shade.
I don't think you
Can I
want that.
say hello
Hey,
to your vlog?
look,
You
it's Nautical
guys,
Nurse Nancy.
We're in Mr. Sancho's. We're in Cozumel. Mr. Sancho's, baby.
We're actually at a soundstage in Hollywood. It's all a mirage for the restart of cruising.
We staged the clouds and everything.
That's right. No, we're in Mexico.
had
I'm
to
just
make
kidding.
it.
Don't be deceived by Nurse Nancy. She's as pure as an angel.
It's gonna be fun.
She's
you
been
guys.
married for 30 years and
Yes.
1 day, but today she seems even happier.
I am so happy to be here, you guys.
Extreme
Hi.
happy Nancy, close up.
up. I'm sorry, that was.
Pair DJ over here trying to hold the excitement down. What's the Sancho's plan for you guys?
I don't know. We're looking at this ocean, trying to figure out how it's looking. It's
Yeah.
definitely a pool
Yeah.
day.
You got to commune with the fishes.
Thank you.
That's what's up.
It's looking
Stephen Z, what's going on, buddy?
Coconut shrimp.
Coconut shrimp is delicious here. Absolutely. The Syracuse Cruisers are in the house, Bob and Sarah. Are you guys ready for a day at Sancho's?
Yes, we are.
What's your plan?
Drink and eat.
Drink and eat. That's a good Sancho's plan. The lovely plaques, Nautical Nurse Nancy, what's the plan for today?
Woo, have fun with friends.
You could probably not stand in front of your husband while we're trying to do a couples thing. I'm just saying, like, I'm not trying to overproduce the thing, but I'm just saying,
I got a
Anthony,
good view. I don't know about.
I mean, Anthony deserves a shot too. Now, come on,
My
Nancy.
man, he's my man.
These guys just celebrated their 30th anniversary yesterday. It was so special.
Absolutely.
Oh, it was awesome.
He's a good man.
And then we're coupled now. We've been together long enough that I'm starting to refer to we will be down later. Yeah. John and I. John, what's the big plan for today, honey bunny?
Lots of these, babe.
All right.
How many
right.
elephants are we killing today?
No tail animals were harmed last night because I can't see this guy cry again. All right, guys, we're getting ready to go at Sancho's. Everybody's here ready to do some business, and that business is leisure. So it's cruise day in a different way here in Mexico. First time back to Sancho's. Let's do this. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Lido Loca. Welcome back to the week after cruising. Welcome. Hopefully you just enjoyed being welcome back to Mexico. It was so exciting being at Mr. Sancho's after not being on a cruise ship for 15 months. I had the best week last week cruising again, and I'm here to answer your cruise questions. I noticed in that clip I didn't cover everybody at the table because they were beside me or behind me. We met a new friend and she integrated into the group. Pika, Cheryl, big shout out to you. Glad that we got to hang with you. And then Erica and Larry were there also. We had a really great group at Sancho's. We made it there in a couple cabs and we hung out all day. We swam. We got to meet Jay from the Ship Life. He was over there in Cozumel, and yeah, at some point I'll try to pull that footage together into some sort of proper what that day was like. But I just wanted to give you a little taste since I haven't put out really any vlogs yet. But yeah, that was really our first rolling back into Sancho's. The thing that kind of gets me a little emotional in that clip is just that crashing wave. Like when the camera turns and that wave crashes and you just remember that you got there by the sea. It was good stuff. Now look, I want to answer a bunch of questions tonight. I'll be here for a while, so if you have a question for me, just type question in capital letters. I'll try to say hi to as many people as possible. But yes, I am here for you this evening to answer questions about my cruise. First of all, thank you, Fred's Model 3N. Thank you for the super chat. Question, solo passenger here. How are they pairing up passengers in the MDR for dinner? Panorama the 18th, September 2020. Thank you, Tony. So I only went to the MDR one night, and the Q's Cruisers who are here, they actually pulled me over to their table. We sat 6 together, and John joined, so it was 6. I'm not sure what they're doing for solo passengers in the MDR. If anybody that was on that cruise has that info, I don't know if Pika is here. She was a solo cruiser. Maybe she could answer that question. But Fred, thank you for the super chat. You know, what I noticed is outside of the MDR, there were a lot of people that were socializing. There was a lot of socialization in the bars and in the clubs where the music was and stuff like that. And so I would assume, like, if you found a friend there, if you made a connection with somebody, even if it was like another couple, I'm sure that you could get added to their table. They were very accommodating for stuff like that. So, but if anybody has more detail, share that with Fred. Fred, thank you for the super chat. Karen Powers, thank you so much for the super chat. Sancho's is that far from port. It's 9 kilometers. I don't know how long that is in miles. It's so easy to get there. You have to walk through the gauntlet of commerce. That's what I call it. To get from the cruise ship to get to where the cab stand is, where the taxis are, you got to snake your way through the shops. Yeah, and the gauntlet of commerce. Look, I don't like to look away from people. I like to look people in their eye. And so there's a whole lot of no thank you, I appreciate it, I'm not, you know, I'm going somewhere, I got a scheduled time, that kind of thing. So yeah, you get through the gauntlet of commerce, you make it to the cab stand, you just pull out and you turn right, and then you go 9 kilometers on that road, and that's it. I think it's like 15 minutes to get to Sancho's, and everything's along that road. Knob, Paradise Island. It is so easy peasy to get to those places. It goes out of the port, take a right, and then in the reverse, when you come back, they drop you off at another spot so you can run the gauntlet of commerce. Great question. Thank you guys for the super chats.
Super chat.
Harry Larry Loca Lucha. Man, I wish I would have spent some time in Cozumel and looked at some more Lucha masks. Our friend Mike and Mike and Frank, they gave me a Lucha mask from Mexico. I have not yet worn it or videoed with it yet, but that's kind of cool. Any positive cases at all? No. So let's talk about that. Okay, I will hit me with the questions again, but let me run through a couple things. A lot of people have asked this question. What does it take to get a Bahamas health visa? Now, this is a Bahamas thing. If you're going to cruise out of the Bahamas, you have to have a Bahamas health visa. I had to upload, you can do it 2 ways. You can get a negative COVID test like 3 days before you go to the Bahamas to get approved for the visa, or you can show that you're vaccinated. And so I had to fill out the form and upload my passport, an image of my passport. I had to upload an image of my vaccination card. I had to describe how I was getting to the Bahamas. I had to describe where I was going in the Bahamas, how long I was going to stay. That's all you have to fill out. You upload all that, and then when they approve it, then you pay a fee. I think it was $38 or $40, and then you had the Bahamas health visa. I needed that as soon as I checked in Tampa. I had to have my Bahamas health visa. I showed my vaccination card there, and that's how I got on the plane in Tampa. When I arrived in the Bahamas, on the plane, they give you a declaration form they give you a form which is a customs entry form, and the backside is a customs exit form. You have to fill that out on the plane. So if you're flying to the Bahamas, make sure you carry a pen so that you don't have to bug the stranger next to you for their pen, which is something I had to do because I didn't have easy access to a pen. When you get off of the plane in the Bahamas, you have to go to customs. You present them with your Bahamas health visa. You present them with that entry and exit form, your passport. And I had to show my vaccination card there also. Pretty sure I had to show my vaccination card. It may have just been included with the health visa. Either way, I had to show that vaccination card a few times. So that's the whole getting into the Bahamas process, and then getting onto the cruise ship was a different process. I described this a little bit in that video I made a couple days ago. I went from my hotel over to the British Colonial Hilton. I was called upstairs at my time, which was a 12:30 time. They called us up about 12 o'clock. Went through the COVID testing process, and then I went into this ballroom where they actually checked me into the cruise for Royal Caribbean. I had to show my boarding pass. I had to show my passport. I had to show my vaccination card, and I believe that was it. And then I had to wait for my negative result. When I got my negative result, they put me on a bus and took me to the cruise ship. All right, let me answer some of these super chats. Donna, thank you so much for the super chat, and I am glad to be home. Thank you for the welcome home. Mark Griffin, thanks for everything. You're one of the best. I appreciate it, Mark. That's a very kind compliment. Eddie Panero, yo. Eddie is in the house. Thank you, Eddie, for the super chat. And Michaela Perez, a little casino money for Jenny the next time she gets to cruise. Thank you all for the super chat. Very kind.
Super chat.
I just looked down and I see BH says, how hot was it there? It was never overly hot. It feels hotter here in Florida, so I would think it's somewhere in the 80s, I would think. It wasn't too crazy. What currency did we pay for the taxi from Sancho's? Question. USD. and it was about $35 or whatever, 40 bucks with a tip, something like that. Question, how are the ships doing the excursions? Are they letting you book your own? Yeah, so since we were a fully vaccinated cruise, we were allowed to do our own thing. So Mr. Sancho's is a do-your-own-thing excursion. They're in Cozumel. It's a $5 deposit. I would highly recommend that you put the $5 down in advance and don't risk just showing up at Cozumel without a reservation, and then you pay the rest of it. It was 60 bucks. For $60, you got all the food and drink that you wanted. The weather was a little sketchy on Cozumel Day. We got 3 or 4 hours before the rain came, so we had enough time to eat, get in the pool for a swim, get out of the pool. Stephen Z, who was here, is very kind. He got Nurse Nancy and Anthony a wedding or anniversary cake. We all shared some cake, and then the deluge came. It rained like crazy. But yeah, Sancho's is a great place. If you like to drink and eat and swim and have some ocean access, it was well worth the 60 bucks. Let's see, Darren Martell, thank you so much for the super chat.
Super chat.
Question, oh, I lost it. All right, let me swing up and get some of these questions. Stephen Z, I could use another escargot. I only had it the one night. Question, any tips for a first-time cruiser, Carnival Glory, April 2022? Just make sure that all your travel make sure the thing that's going to keep you from cruising is good to go. Make sure your passport is up to date. If you're cruising with a birth certificate, make sure that your birth certificate's up to date. You may even need to think about having your marriage license if your name is different on your birth certificate than your driver's license. Just make sure that you have all the documentation that you need. I recommend getting a folder, putting all that stuff in. I print out stuff that I probably should not print out, just in case. Make sure you take a photograph of your passport, all that stuff. For first-time cruisers, the one thing that'll get you kicked off the cruise ship, or maybe not even let you start your cruise, is if your travel documentation is incorrect. And then maybe make sure that you pack things like ibuprofen, stuff like that, that you might not think of packing. Just pack it, you know, like a small version of it, because everything on the cruise ship is super expensive. Let's see. Was the Gauntlet of Commerce as bad as the timeshare vultures in Las Vegas? Asked the Hangman. Man, timeshare people, they work hard to get you to buy a timeshare. I don't know that any of Gauntlet of Commerce has been as challenging as trying to get out of a timeshare presentation. Let's see. I answered that. How long is the Bahamas visa for? Well, you put your dates in there, and so mine was good for, I don't know, however long the cruise was. I think it was actually good for 16 days, so it's time-bound based on the information that you put in. Time-bound. Thank you, Joanne. I'm glad to be home. I hope you guys are doing better. I hope you're feeling good, Joanne. Parties on board, man. Yeah, you know, there was a lot of socialization. Most nights I stayed up till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, depending where the music was. We spent a lot of time in the pub with the singer there, Kieran Cox, a really amazing guy. There was live music everywhere. In the afternoon, there was like classical guitar. Somebody was asking if there was any live entertainment. It was all live. I mean, it was real. I'm a little bit of a creature of the night. I'd rather sleep late. I did not sleep late. Almost every night I was up till 3 or 4 and then got up at like 7 or 8. So Jenny can attest, I was kind of exhausted when I got home. I'm swinging down to the bottom to see any questions. But it was cool. So what the itinerary for the cruise, I got to the Bahamas on a Friday. We went to the Warwick, which is an all-inclusive. That was really the first experience I had with an all-inclusive. It was cool. There were 3 or 4 restaurants there. It was all the food you wanted to drink. It was about $320 for one night that I split with John from the ship show. And yeah, the food was okay. The drink, you know, I don't really drink much. The drink was okay. And it was just a nice place to stay the night. We got there, the room wasn't ready. That was a little bit of a challenge, so I was still carrying around a lot of luggage. But overall, it wasn't too bad. Question, would you cruise out of the islands again once Florida opens up? Pros and cons versus island versus Florida. You know, if cruising out of the island, well, that's a pretty big question, honestly. I've thought about that a lot. I would rather cruise somewhere where I can drive from. I only live 45 minutes from the port of Tampa. And so, yeah, I'd rather just load up a small suitcase and go down to Tampa and not have to worry about checking a bag and all that stuff. But if my only option is to if I don't want to cruise with a mask, like and everybody can make their own decision. It's a personal choice. Not trying to get in a fight with anybody. I'm just telling you personally, I enjoyed not wearing a mask on the cruise ship, and so for cruise experiences going forward, I will be looking for experiences where I don't have to wear a mask. So that would probably preclude me from cruising where it's vaccinated and unvaccinated, because I don't want to have to wear a mask. So I'm going to be looking for cruises that are focusing on maskless. And but I think there's going to be options for that in the United States. Carnival, I think, is focusing on maskless cruising because they keep talking about the cruise experience. I do think that's code word for maskless cruising. But right now, Royal, they might have a little bit of a challenge. Well, I think they're going to have masks on some. I enjoy Royal. I had a great time this week, but I really want to hold out until I can go on Royal where there's not separating vaccinated and unvaccinated people. I want to see how that plays out before I jump on that. I hope I answered that question. I would rather drive to the cruise port. How about that? Pat Check, there was a buffet food grabber. I don't want to be too harsh on it because I don't think the person meant to do it. Like there was some challenges there, but somebody did grab a big old handful of cantaloupe right off of the buffet. But yeah, that was pretty wild. Let me get these super chats. Shannon McLean, thank you so much for the super sticker. Are you a noob here? Welcome to the show. Flamey Gibb, bravo on that Fox. Thank you for the super sticker. Larry Thomas, what are you doing, man? You're supposed to be enjoying that cruise. One of the highlights of the week, you guys probably see Larry Thomas in these live chats a lot. I got to hang out quite a bit with Larry and his wife, Elaine. Wow, what great people. Like, what great people. I love going on these cruises so much because I actually get to put a face to the name, and it was really great. Hi, Tony. We were in the middle of eating and saw the notification, so we inhaled the rest of our food and ran up to the cabin to say hi. I miss you guys. It was a good time last week, and thank you, of course, always for the super chat. Redneck Lover 22. Do you think protocols and any other issues will be settled by my cruise on the Carnival Valor in NOLA by February the 2nd? By February the 7th? Yeah, I think a lot of stuff will be resolved by February the 7th. There is so much going on with this court case down here in Florida that doesn't really anything happen until the 18th of July, and it's going to be a whole new world by the time February. I expect cruising to go through multiple iterations of what it's going to be before we even get to the end of the year. So it's hard to speculate. I do want to talk some more about it. I'm going to work on a video talking about what this ruling means for the conditional sell order. Here's a big question. Just because the conditional sell order goes away, do you think the cruise lines don't want to require a vaccine? I mean, I don't know that we've considered that. Maybe they still want to require a vaccine. So that's going to be interesting in its own right. Just because the CDC's not telling them to, which is they've talked about, that's why they're doing it. What happens if they come up and say, well, we're really doing it because we want to do it? That's going to be interesting. Smoky Traveler, thank you so much for the super chat. Congrats on the 95. Looking forward to you hitting the button and getting that 100K. Yeah, it was a good week last week. A lot of heat coming out on the Adventure of the Seas. We got a lot of new subscribers. The locafam got bigger. Welcome everybody to the locafam. If you're brand new in the chat tonight and you haven't subscribed, help us get to 100,000 subscribers. We're so close. Please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. And if you're in this chat right now, do me a favor and hit the like button. Let YouTube know that we're here and that we're doing a show, and maybe they'll drag it over. Andy Lee, did I hang out with Matt from Royal Caribbean? I did not hang out with Matt from Royal Caribbean, but I did talk to him, meet him a couple times. It was really nice to meet him, and so it was really awesome. Let's see. Ali D from How Much Kieran Cox was talked about on the lives and vlogs. Yeah, the guy's a really great performer, man, but he was so good in that pub. It was very nice. Question, how are the back-to-back cruisers handled? Interestingly enough, Larry and his wife are on a back-to-back cruise. They were able to stay in their room. I don't know what the full process is. Larry, did you have to get off the ship at all? They had to get tested later than we did. So there was a couple things going on. But Terry, I don't know the full deal. I'll have to try to catch up with Larry when he gets back. Radio, where were the smoking areas? Same places as usual. You could smoke in the casino. I'm assuming there were outside smoking places. I don't smoke, so I never went looking for them. The only smoke I actually saw on the cruise ship was when I was at the dice table throwing the hot dice. There was smoking in the casino. So I would assume it's all the regular stuff. John from the Ship Show, look. I try to do the right thing. Like I don't fly to the cruise port very often. So I bought a luggage scale so that I could keep my big bag under 50 pounds. And then on the last night, in the frenetic energy of the packing, my luggage scale went missing. And John was stand up enough to say that he took it accidentally. So John, thank you for the super chat for the luggage scale. Use it in good health. It was only $6, so I just profited $13 on that luggage scale. Next time we cruise together, John, I'll bring some more low-dollar stuff that you can accidentally take, and I'll profit from it, so I appreciate that. Thanks for the super chat. Had a great time with John all week. I can't say enough about John. He's a super nice guy. Man, the guy's got such a great energy. We meshed really well. I destroyed a few towel animals. It was unsettling for a while, but I had to test this. I had to test the bonds of our relationship, and we came through the towel animal chagrin stronger, I think. Don't you think we were stronger, John, after it? And even to the point where, I don't know if you guys saw the photographs, but he got a locafam tattoo at Mr. Sancho's. So a lot of love going on between the ship show and the locafam in cabin 7660. Kathleen Parks, thank you so much for the super chat. Much appreciated. And Lavettis Mobley, thank you for the super chat. Thanks everybody for the super chat. Appreciate it.
Super chat.
Get one more in. Bob C. Hi, Tony. On your recent cruise, did you see people trying to skirt the rules? Bob, let me be honest. We didn't have very many rules. Just so you know, what were the rules that we saw skirted? Maybe some physical distancing. The pub was only supposed to hold 16, and there were times where people were going to the bar and getting a drink, and everybody was singing along with Kieran. There were some times where probably those rules got skirted, but it wasn't like an overt, I'm trying to get over on something. It was just people having a good time. But honestly, this was pretty close to regular cruising. Like, I went to a show, I had dinner, I gambled, I saw live music, I socialized with people. It was pretty spectacular, if I'm being honest. Yeah, not a lot of rule breakers there. Everybody was hyped to be on the first cruise, and yeah, it was great. Griselda Ace Vito. I hope I'm saying that right. Sorry if I'm butchering your name. Thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate it.
Super chat.
Super chat. All right, let me see if I can find some more questions. What is going on? Did you meet Hoffman's Happy Travels? Cash Mopar, that one doesn't ring a bell, but I met so many people. I possibly could have. I don't know if I knew them by channel name, but I sure it was. That was the one thing I really wasn't expecting was to be well known. I knew that I was known a little bit, but on that cruise I was well known, and so I met so many people, and it was a very encouraging thing. Like, it was pretty wild to be able to interact and meet so many people. Met a lot of creators, the crew members. Man, it was so cool to interact with the crew members. So excited to be back. So excited to be working again. And really, it was, you could tell that, like at one point I really got the appreciation. My life, other than kind of being locked down in my house and, being worried when people in my family got COVID, but nobody got seriously ill. My brother-in-law was on a ventilator. That was probably the most serious thing that we had. But you really got the sense talking to the crew members how challenging it was for them for 15 months. And so it was so exciting to see them happy back at work and see them getting back to some sort of normalcy, just trying to make a living. And so I was way crushed and emotional talking to the crew members and just really feeling the gravity of them being back. So big shout out to any crew that's out there, any crew members that are watching, any crew members on the Adventure of the Seas. You guys made the week so great for me, and I was really glad to meet the ones that I got to meet, and so appreciative for the crew. So that was pretty cool. Jessica, did I get a chance to see the ice show with Jordan? I sure did. Man, that show was good. Jordan's an amazing ice skater. I didn't get to talk to Jordan, but yeah, that show was awesome. Jay Spiegel, thank you so much for the super chat. When does the Adventure of the Seas move to Galveston? Thinking about booking it from Nassau in September. I don't know what its schedule is. I know it's supposed to end up in Galveston. I don't know how heavily sold these Nassau cruises are. I think a lot of it will depend when U.S. cruises start, because I do assume that once U.S. cruises start hot and heavy, that Nassau cruise may go away. I don't know anything official, but Nassau's still there working on their cruise port. It's interesting, if you've ever been to Nassau and you know that yellow tower, you'll see that in a video, but the building that was next to the yellow tower is demolished. They got this nice new paved area walking up to the cruise ship, and so Nassau is changing. Nassau was a heavy place too, because it was encouraging and discouraging for the Bahamians, because it was encouraging that for like the day before the cruise and the day returning from the cruise, they had a lot of work to do. but there were still a lot of places that were closed there in Nassau as they were struggling to get through this no tourism, this shutdown. And so, again, it's always interesting to balance that whole human aspect of like we're in a place and we're benefiting from them, but they're having a hard time. So it definitely felt like that in the Bahamas also. Let's see. Great question, Jay. Did I test the fates? Yeah, I played 3 times. The first night I won $17. The second night I won $1. No, that was the third night that I won $1, and then I think I won every session. I played probably 6 hours total. Had a good time. Really, a lot of time just cutting up with the dealers there, hanging out with the crew. Really, just making a lot of bets for the crew and trying to throw some money their way in the context of craps. So it wasn't really about me gambling hard and heavy. It was just about me kind of enjoying playing craps, which I do, and then also trying to connect with the crew. So that was pretty cool. When's the next group cruise? It is in October on the Mardi Gras. Jenny B might be able to help. I don't know if there's any spots left on that one or not. Let's see. Question. Yeah, Kelly, I mean, I haven't heard anything. You know, we saw the other ones cancel, so hopefully August is good to go. Let's see. Question. Why the spa open? Was anything closed on the ship? Nothing that I wanted to use was closed on the ship. I know that the kids club was closed. I doubt that the spa was closed. I think you had to have like a reservation to go to the like the gym. But yeah, nothing that I wanted to use on the ship was closed. Yeah, Queen Beat, you know, craps is funny, and the way I play a super conservative version of craps, so it ebbs and flows. It comes up, it goes down. You don't win a lot, but you don't lose a lot. I just like throwing the dice. I like people yelling and screaming for their numbers, and anytime I can get 2 hours of that and not lose any money, I'm a happy camper. Am I going to post any footage from Mr. Sancho's visit post-COVID? Make sure you watch the beginning of the show because there was a whole like 4 minutes of Mr. Sancho's. I probably will. I got enough for a vlog. We had some good stuff in the pool. Where's Jenny tonight? Jenny will be here tomorrow on the Tuesday Night Live. This is really kind of just to recap the cruise, and she wasn't on this one. She's there in the chat, though. So let's see. How was it having to make reservations for the show rather than going with the flow? So the cool thing about the app is that you could make reservations. So if you saw a show that you liked, you could hit a button and you could see when the show was all week. And so I made my reservations basically for the whole week. There was one time where I wanted to go see the ice skating show a second time. I had my other camera. I wanted to go film Jordan a second way, and the show was booked up. So that was pretty cool. I liked it. It was fine. You know, it's the way that they were trying to control. Here's a couple things. I haven't talked about this yet. The reservation served 2 purposes. First, it was to accomplish the physical distancing. So they knew how many seats were available, so they would only let a certain amount of people into the theaters. But we didn't have to wear the tracelet. I don't know if anybody's picked up on that yet or not. And so I asked, I can't remember who I asked, but I asked, what's the deal with no tracelet? And they were like, well, we're using the reservation system to do contact tracing. So based on where you reserved, that's how you knew, that's how the ship knew who you'd come into contact with. And then the buffet had a line for reservation and non-reservation. And I walked to the buffet a couple times and just, there was nobody in line, so I didn't have to have a reservation. So that was pretty cool. Did I hear about anybody testing positive? So on the check-in process, there were 2 people or 4 people that tested positive. There were 2 couples. I don't know how many people got the positive result, but because they were with somebody, I talked to a couple on the last night of the cruise. I don't know why I didn't pull out my phone. I really should have pulled out my phone. But they told me that they were one of the people that had tested positive and that Royal really treated them well. So when they tested positive, they were pulled to a separate room. They were isolated, and then they were given the second test, the PCR test. It took about 2 hours to get that result. During that time, they fed them, they gave them water, they made them comfortable, and then there was another couple in there. So a total of 4 people had to be retested the second time. All 4 of those came back negative with the PCR test. So nobody was denied boarding, which was nice. And then everything that I understand from the end of the cruise, the return to the USA test, there were no positives. So this cruise, unless something happens, everything that I'm hearing is that this cruise went off without a hitch, no positive cases, no breakthrough cases. All the vaccinated folks got on the cruise ship and got home without any COVID. So that's a big win for cruising. Cruising with no COVID, how about that? I like it. Pat Check, thank you so much for the super chat. And whoa, Scotty Dye, thank you for the super chat. Very generous. I appreciate that. Thanks for supporting the creativity. Boom.
Super chat.
Let's see. Is the October group cruise still selling at reduced capacity? I believe so. Like this cruise was 30% capacity, and so we'll have to see. I don't know if they'll open up, like if things go good for the next couple months and more regulations are removed. Again, I think that cruising's going to look different month by month. And so maybe we get to October where they'll have more room on the Mardi Gras and they'll be ready to sell more. I don't know. When will the vlog start? I don't know. So this is the question, right? I put that poll out the other day. You know, what should I do? The channel looks a lot different in the last year. Everybody's used to getting the news. People are saying, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And so I'm a little apprehensive, honestly, about putting some vlogs out. I think people will watch them, but I don't want to run anybody off. So I'm still struggling a little bit to figure out if I'm going to put out a traditional blog or if I'm going to do stuff like I did where I show bits and pieces. So, you know, the other thing about being around everybody, it was a little challenge for me to film the vlog because normally it's just me and Jenny, and yeah, I don't know. So it's a great question, Smokey Traveler. There will be, I got footage, but I don't know what I got, so we'll have to see what happens. So I definitely like what I just showed you at the beginning of this show. I want to show you guys some more of that. I got some really great footage to share with you guys, so I'm excited. Question, have you heard when cruise ships will sail full sailing end of August in Alaska, hoping still sailing at no more than half full? Glad you had a great cruise. No, again, it's going to depend on how things happen over the next couple months. They're going to start with reduced capacity just to make sure, you know, so today really was the big news. The fact that there's a test cruise going out or went out yesterday for Royal Caribbean, that is the beginning of the cruise restart in the United States. Like, there are no other sailings that have been going on in the United States from big cruise lines in 15 months. So that's the beginning. Now we got the Celebrity Edge going out on the 26th in a few more days. And so this is the beginning. So once we get through the end of June, once we get through July, once we get into August, the whole world could be different when it comes to cruising as far as protocols. So stay tuned. Again, I said it before. I'll continue to say it. If you got a cruise scheduled in 2021, be prepared for that cruise to be canceled. Like, don't be too attached to that cruise. I really hope it doesn't get canceled, but there's still going to be a lot of upheaval before we get back to just even kill. So, yeah, just be chill. So that's interesting. Ben and David's cruise was canceled because it was oversold. Interesting. Let's see. Thank you, JJ, for the super chat.
Super chat.
Question, sailing in September out of LA, will you need to wear a mask at the time? It depends. If it's a full, if it's a 95% vaccinated cruise and they're requiring that you show your vaccine card, I don't think that you'll have to wear a mask. The current guidance from the CDC is that vaccinated people don't have to wear a mask indoor or outdoor. But the whole challenge comes is when you congregate vaccinated and unvaccinated, you almost have to treat everybody like they're unvaccinated and wear the mask. That's still the guidance for the unvaccinated. I don't make the guidance. I'm just following the rules. I'm just trying to tell you the rules. I know people get mad about the guidance, but that's what the cruise line is going to be following. They're going to be the ones that are making the rules. And so my idea is if you're on a cruise that's fully vaccinated, I would be surprised if you have to wear a mask. But if you're on a cruise that's not fully I would say if you're on a cruise that's at least 95% vaccinated, you will not have to wear a mask. But if you're on some like 80-20 deal, you'll probably have to mask up in public places where vaccinated and unvaccinated people congregate together. And let me talk about this. So everybody's making a big deal. Royal said, look, we might have separate sections for vaccinated and unvaccinated, and people are like, that's horrible. The sections aren't going to be any less good. So the section that they give to the vaccinated people is going to be the same as the section that they're giving to the unvaccinated people. So it's not like anybody's being treated worse. They just want to keep the people separate. So one dining room getting the same food as another dining room getting the same food. So, I mean, it's not that big a deal, but I just don't like the fact, me personally, I just don't want where we all have to wear masks when we're together. You know, they're going to figure it out. They're going to figure it out. I'm hopeful they're going to figure it out. Again, this is growing pains, but I think we're going to get there. Rob O, thank you so much for the super chat. I have a new appreciation for the work you continue to do on YouTube. You are definitely a leader with a great personality. Continued success to you and Jenny. Huge fan. Rob, that's very kind. I appreciate the words. Yeah, you know, for a year and a half, I've kind of sat in my room with very little interaction, and comments like that really make it worthwhile. As I've gone out there and met people, it's heavy, and I'm appreciative, and I'm feeling the love, and thank you guys, everybody who watches and supports the show, supports the channel. We sure do appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat.
Super chat.
Sarah McKay, I wore a mask to the point, so I wear a mask in the Bahamas in public, to the point where I got to where I was walking to the ship. I took the mask off. The next time I put the mask on is when I got off at Cozumel to ride the cab to Mr. Sancho's. Once I got through the Sancho's check-in process, I took the mask off. When we left Sancho's, I put it back on, and that's all I wore the mask on the cruise ship. I didn't have to wear it at Coco Cay. I didn't have to wear it, well, I didn't get off at Freeport, and I didn't have to wear it on the cruise ship. So it was pretty, again, like I said, pretty normal. Pretty normal. Let's see. Welcome back. I hear Don is plotting. Yeah, that's true. Don. Yeah, I can't wait to hang out with Don. I'm pretty excited. Pretty excited. Oh, I lost it. Question: have a less than 7 day cruise? Has less than 7 day cruise or greater than 7 days? Yeah, they've been okay. Like long cruise, short cruise. There's no time limit on cruises. The CDC. That wasn't in any of the latest guidance, so it's pretty cool. Erica, thank you for being here tonight. Take it easy. Big shout out to the Blue Crew working the room, keeping it safe. I see they've already taken care of a couple people. Erica is gone, or she's leaving. Slinky Ingle King. Ellen Hey Girl Huffnell is in the house. Slinky's partner in crime, Matt, is here. Let's see who else is here from the Blue Crew. Of course, the lovely Jenny B. She's keeping it locked down in the other room. And let's say anybody else from the Blue Crew? I think Chuck Spencer was in here. I don't know. All right, big shout out to the Blue Crew. Sliding back to the bottom, if you got a question, it would be a great time to put it there. Slinky Eagle, question. Sarah McCady, did you have to wear... Oh, she was giving me a question. Thank you, Slinky. I appreciate that. Appreciate it. Question, what is your next cruise? I guess since Don let the cat out of the bag, man, Don, I don't know if you're out there listening. Emily Flanagan's here. Big love for the Emily and Joe Flanagan. My next cruise is our birthday celebration cruise for Jenny and I. She didn't get to cruise in March for her birthday. My birthday is in August. We will be on the Carnival Mardi Gras on the 21st of August. At first, we were just going to do that low-key with Jenny and I, but then we talked Don into going, and then Don announced it on his live stream, so I guess we're talking about it. So Don, myself, Jenny, some other fine people have joined the foray. We will be on the Carnival Mardi Gras on August 21st. How about that? The Blue Crew are the people whose names are in blue with the wrench by it. They are actually smacking trolls down, stuff like that. Cuse Cruisers. See, I still can't do it. Thank you, Bob and Sarah. Let me just give a big shout out to the Cuse Cruisers. Please go subscribe to their channel. Bob and Sarah were so kind to me all week. Sometimes I forget to wear socks. Like I get so caught up in what I'm doing, and every time I was kind of lost in my own world, Bob and Sarah would help me out. They were like brother and sister to me. They were caretakers for me, and they helped me have a great week. So big shout out to you guys. They got me back to the airport. I mean, I could have got back there, but it was really nice to have the help. And so, yes, thank you for the super chat. From one Duncan lover to another, you have to share with Jenny. Miss you, buddy. I miss you guys, too. Thank you so much for the super chat. Night Maiden, thank you so much for the super chat. Love you and Jenny, longtime fan. Thanks for all the great updates. Let's go cruising. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Super chat.
Jerry missed seeing Jenny on my cruise. I did too, but like, tell you what, it was the best decision that she made not to go on this cruise. There were a lot of challenges. There was a lot of just walking from the plane to customs in the Bahamas was like 4 football fields long. It was a lot. Like if you haven't been cruising in a while, if you hadn't been walking a lot in a while, it was a lot. I don't think Jenny would have liked it. I don't think you guys would have liked to see Jenny on that cruise if I could have even shown the film, because she would have been not happy. So Jenny made the right call on that one, not going. Good call, baby. Good choice. Top question for the kids, was Johnny Rockets open? Yes, we went to Johnny Rockets. John and I would pair a DJ. I got some footage of that. More so of the food than of anybody else. But yes, went to Johnny Rockets. It was, I think one of the videos I'm going to do, so I did all the specialties. I did chops and azumi and Giovanni's table. I did the chef's table, and I did Johnny Rockets, and I did chops twice. So 6 specialty dinners. I got video and pictures of all the food, so I really think I'm going to make that food video, and we'll talk about that specialty dining. And let me just tell you, Johnny Rockets, let's see. Question, why do you think Cozumel, Carnival canceled Cozumel as a port? I figured mask wearing in most places. I hadn't heard that. I don't know. Cozumel's wide open and ready for passengers. I had not heard that Carnival had done that. Chris Scott, the key package, I don't think they allowed the key package this time. So I think well, it just depends where you're going out of. Maybe if it goes out of the U.S. ports, possibly. I appreciate, maybe. But they canceled it there in the Bahamas. The Jenny B Show, she loves me. Yeah. She loves me. And with a love like that, I know it couldn't be bad. Tanisha Leonard, you're from Birmingham, Alabama, just like my brother. Sorry, just joining. So if you answered, I'm sorry. You mentioned another vlog. The MDR was closed for dinner. Any reason why? The buffet was closed for dinner. I don't know the reason why. We think it might be a staffing issue. But there was a lot of staff. I think there were 1,000 passengers and over 900 staff. So, but yeah, I don't know why the buffet was closed at night. I never got a good answer to that. How many cruise vloggers do you think were on board? RMPA asked. I think it was about 25. I don't think it was 25 individual channels, but I think if you added it all up. But that's just cruise vloggers. There were TikTokers and Instagrammers and Snapchatters and travel bloggers. It was a pretty media heavy event. Pretty heavy media event. What was my favorite meal on board? I'm gonna save it for a video. I really need to go back and look at all my food, and so I'm not gonna answer, Snow. How about that? I'm gonna save it for. I think that would be a good video. But yeah, they were great. Had a lot of good food. Let's see. Question: did the workers on the islands wear masks? Yeah. So all of the. Let me think about everywhere I went. On the cruise ship, all of the crew had to wear masks. We really think that's going to go away. I talked to a couple workers and I said, what's the hardest thing? And they said, well, these protocols are really hard. They've created extra work for us, which isn't exciting. And I said, well, what's the hardest protocol? And it's like wearing the mask all the time. I really think that's going to go. But they wore the mask on the cruise ship. They wore the mask on Coco Cay. All the people at Mr. Sancho's, of course, they're not crew members for the cruise ship. All of them wore masks. And so almost everybody that was working wore a mask. Robert Rayburn, how the new cameras work out? Pretty good. I shot a lot with the Sony A7C. That little bit that was at the beginning of the show today was shot with the GoPro 9. I thought the audio was really good on that. That wasn't with any external mics or anything. So yeah, I enjoyed the new gear. I shot most of everything on the iPhone, and I just upgraded my iPhone before I left. This is good too. I like it a lot. Ali D, thank you so much for the super chat. Please don't stop the cruise vlogs. You're one of the cruise kings. We look for you for all things cruising. The news will eventually calm down. Yeah, so I just got to figure out how to work them in and all that stuff. But yeah, I want to find a new creative way to show that cruise footage. Let me just put it like that. That's what's going on in my head right now. I've done the traditional vlog. Now I want to find another way to make that entertaining for you guys. I think I can come up with something creative. Did I slide in Coco Cay? Nope, I'm really too big for all the water slides. All I did in Coco Cay is I went to the beach club both days. The first day, you guys may have seen the live stream from the pool. And then the second day, I didn't even take a camera. I just went there and I just took it as a day to just do nothing, and it was really nice. Chef's dinner, was it worth it? Question, was the chef's dinner worth it? I don't remember what I paid. I think it was $98. I think it's worth it one time. It was really nice. Every course was paired. It was beautiful. Like, I don't know if you guys saw the picture of where it was at. And I'll show that on a video. But it was beautiful. Every course was paired with a wine. There was a sommelier there that described all the wine and the pairing with the food. It was, the food was delicious. So I think it's worth it. I don't know that I would do it on every cruise. I know for John, it's the same chef's table he's had on Royal many times. And so if I knew that the menu was exactly the same, I wouldn't do it again. I would just do it the one time. But it was pretty cool. I like it. Let's see. Question. Does anybody know how Carnival is going to get around the vaccine law in Florida? Can Carnival ask you if you had the vaccine? This is what I think is going to happen. I don't know how Carnival's going to do it. But this is what I think Royal and maybe MSC is doing. I think they're going to treat everybody as if they are unvaccinated, and if you want the benefit of being vaccinated, which is no mask and not having to pay for a test, you will be able to volunteer your vaccine status. So I believe if you're volunteering your vaccine status and they're not asking you for your vaccine status, then they're not violating any law in Florida. I don't know how Carnival's going to do it because they're saying that they're not allowing any unvaccinated people there, so there's no like extra tests or anything like that. That's to be determined as we get closer to the 31st of July when Carnival makes its first sailing on the Carnival Mardi Gras. I'm assuming that there will be a plan in place by then, but I think it's going to be one of those deals where I could see Carnival saying that you have to check in online and provide your vaccine status there, and if you don't. The other thing that Carnival released on that Mardi Gras is that they will have an exception process, but they plan to sail at 95% vaccinated, and they want everybody to pay their cruise off in full, and then they're going to determine who's going to be able to get that exemption. And so if all of a sudden, let's say, I don't know how to say it. Let's say there's 100 people on that cruise. There'll be more than 100 people. That means that 95 people would have to be vaccinated and only 5 would be unvaccinated. So, you know, that means if there's 6 people that want to cruise unvaccinated, they're going to have to throw the 6th person off. It's complicated. I'm not sure how they're going to do it, but I think it's going to be a volunteer process in Florida. Good question, though. Oh, it just went to the bottom. Question, muster drill drama, did they ever get to 100% or did they get thrown off the ship? That's a great question. Like, somebody told me, and I don't know how true it was, that they saw people having to leave the ship with their suitcases, like 5 people. They saw it on a port cam. I don't know if that story was true or if it was ever verified. The one thing I did not like about the e-muster process. So the e-muster process did not work for me. Whenever we would watch the video and I would try to attest that John and I watched the video, then it would throw an error. So eventually we had to go to the muster station and they had to do like a little 5-minute muster drill for us. That was fine. We didn't have to stand with other people and we got signed off. But for like 4 hours, every like 10 minutes, there was an announcement like, please finish the muster drill. Please finish the muster drill. That was the annoying part of the e-muster, is just having to beg people to do the muster drill, which seems crazy because it was so much easier. Why wouldn't people just do the muster drill straight away? Maybe they did throw people off. It wouldn't surprise me if they did throw people off, but there was like, if that's true that 6 people had to leave the ship, I would say that's probably what it was for. Celebrity asked our vaccine status, Jackie, for the Celebrity Edge. I mean, they haven't asked you at the port in Florida yet because you haven't gone there. So they just asked you online, you think? I think that's one way around it because online's not necessarily Florida. Let's see. What do I think the possible effects of the judge's ruling on Alaska cruises? The Jackster, everything I've read hasn't really mentioned Alaska. The injunction against the conditional sail order particularly speaks to the Florida issue. And again, there's a lot going on there. The injunction doesn't take place until, excuse me, the injunction doesn't take place until July the 18th. The CDC has until July the 2nd to come up with less restrictive protocols, and then Florida has 7 days to respond to those protocols. And so the first time that the conditional sail order could go away would be July the 18th. No mention of Alaska in there. I don't think it's playing. I don't think it's in play because this only deals with Florida. So the conditional sail order would still be in place for Seattle cruises to Alaska. That means they could still get the certificate. That means they wouldn't violate the exemption to the Passenger Vessel Services Act. So it's going to be interesting. And then again, the thing I said earlier, the interesting thing is if the conditional sail order goes away in Florida and the CDC doesn't, their guidelines don't matter, cruise lines still could say we prefer to cruise vaccinated. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. Great question. Deborah M., thank you so much for the super chat. Thanks for all the great content. Thank you so much.
Super chat.
Let me take a breath. Shirley Dixon, do I think all of the ports will be open by October? I don't know. It depends how well all this other stuff goes. So if, again, I haven't looked at the COVID numbers lately. I haven't looked at the vaccine numbers lately being on that cruise. If those numbers continue to trend down and all of a sudden COVID just becomes something that we maintain. I mean, you got to remember, like 15 months ago, we didn't know what COVID was. It's like a brand new disease, right? Everybody says, oh, well, what about the flu and what about tuberculosis? Well, we're pretty familiar with all those. And so we're in a time in history where there's a whole new disease on the scene that we don't really know what's happening with it. And so We're 15 months past that, which isn't really that long a time in the scheme of things. You know, once all this stuff starts to become normalized and it is treated like other diseases that we know about, I think everything will open back up. But it's going to be a slow roll. It's not just to flip the switch on and all the ports are open. You got to get those things restaffed and you got to get crew on all the ships. October may be too quick for all the ports to open, but I think by early 2022, that's just me speculating. That's just me speculating. Uh-oh, Commander Redhawk had to put it in my mind. 1,400 watching and only 750 likes? What are we waiting on, people? Hit the like button. Can we get to 1,000? How about that? Kids clubs are not running. Will all cruise lines start asking for vaccinated passengers? Nope. No. I mean, you know, we've seen it very clearly that like Royal is not asking for all vaccinated passengers, so I don't think that's going to be the standard. Would the current protocols work if the ship was at full capacity instead of a third? I don't see why not. I mean, you know, I think you could have added more people there. Again, like for the reservations for the buffet, there was never a line for the people that didn't have reservations, and the dining room was only half full. And so I believe they could staff. There was plenty more room to put people. So I think the protocols would work. I think they would work. I have no idea how quickly the capacity will be raised. Question from Bill W. How is the Edge getting around Florida law for not being able to ask for vaccines? I think somebody just said it here. That they were asked online. So I think that's one way you can get around it. If you have to say yes online, I don't know if you'd have to prove it at the port, but you might have to upload your vaccine card online, and I think that would get you around the deal. The Juggler, yeah, man, the juggling show. I'm gonna rank all the shows that I saw too, and I love juggling, and I love jugglers, and that guy struggled. That guy struggled. I really doubt if they found the people who hadn't done the mustard that they would throw them off. They'd most likely, maybe. I don't know how hardcore they were. Yeah, again, somebody threw that at me on the first night that people came off. I don't really know. I don't really know if that was true or not. Is NCL asking for vaccine? No. So NCL pushed their start date way out. Maybe way out means August. I can't remember. I have to circle back around. They do want all vaccinated, so I'm sure they're going to be asking for vaccines. Carol E. from Seattle, welcome. Glad that you're new. Glad that you're here. Welcome to the locafam. Glad to have you. Question, did you miss your Dunkin' or Starbucks coffee while on the ship? Nope, because they had Starbucks coffee on the ship. That was really cool. I had the refreshment package. Thank you, John. And yeah, I got Starbucks coffee every day. It was very nice. Bob Hader, were the public restrooms open? I believe so. I don't know if I ever actually used a public restroom. I always went back to the cabin. Anybody on that cruise remember if the public bathrooms are open? I think so. I don't remember much being closed on that ship. Sharon Stockman, thank you for the super chat. Matt's kids were in Adventure Ocean, which is the kids club. All right, I did hear that the part of it was closed though, so I take it back. Thank you for the update, but I remember the people were saying that that wasn't quite open. So, but if they were in there, yes. Would I want to be the cruise juggler? No, I don't think I'd want to do that on the cruise ship, but I could do a lot of that guy's act, which made me feel good. Rob said he observed people from coming off the ship with their luggage during the... Yeah, I don't know what that was. How was our meeting with Jay and Cozumel? Tinkerbell, it was too short, but it was really nice to... you know, I met Jay over in Port Canaveral, and I got to meet him and his girlfriend there in Cozumel. The rain poured on us, but it was nice. We probably got 10 or 15 minutes together. It would have been nice to get longer, but we're going to hook up when he gets back here to... We live about 45 minutes apart, so it's kind of funny. We keep going across the world to meet each other, but yeah, so it was cool. Everybody upgraded to balconies. No, I know like Para DJ was in an ocean view room because they've got some video of them shooting out their ocean view, so I don't think they were in a bathroom. I just read bathroom on their balconies. I don't think they were in a balcony. The Q's Cruiser said that the public bathrooms were open. Yeah, I think that, you know, like, it's... You don't want to go all willy-nilly, right? You don't want to just run naked through the streets. And so that's why the crew may still be wearing masks. That's why you may have some physical distancing when you may necessarily not need it. That's why you may be doing some testing on vaccinated people. You know, they can't just throw the shutters open and let all the sunlight in at one time. It makes sense to gradually remove some of the protocols, still have some of the protocols in place. But I don't think we're very far from... You get a few cruises in, you go, all right, this next one, let's do it without the mask and see what happens. So, with the lower amount of people, there were no crowded times at meals. I never ran into it. Again, I did specialty a lot, so I had a reservation the night that I went to the MDR with Nurse Nancy and Sarah and Bob. We walked right up to our table. I never waited to get into the buffet. There's never, like I went to the Promenade Cafe. There was never much of a line there, so it was pretty cool. Yeah, Paul, the week did fly quick. How many children did you observe under 12 on your ship? Well, I didn't count them, no. You would notice them because they were masked up, and I don't know, maybe 10. I could have seen the same kid 10 times. I don't know, but not many on the ship. Thank you, Cindy Bishop. Very kind, very kind. Get out the house. Did refreshment package include Starbucks? Yeah. It included the coffee that I could get at the coffee bar there. I got not Monster, but I got a Red Bull one time. I got coffee 4 or 5 times, so. Let's see, Jay Mockingbird, she's in the chat tonight. Jenny's awesome. She had a good time having the week without me, and so it was good. How about everybody just go unmasked? Well, I think they'll get there eventually. How about let the cruise lines run their business and get cruising started again? How about that? That's what I think. No temperature checks. Let's see. Did Stella... yeah, John got some great stuff for Stella. FYI, Tony, NCL just froze August, September, October on Sky Enjoy, including mine. So getting ready for more cancellations. Can't seem to get there. Yeah, so it's just not available on the website. I don't know. How much was the soda package and alcohol package? Is it worth it to buy? John, can you speak to those? I don't remember. I don't know what we paid for those. So I didn't do my time dining. I had a 5:30 dining time, and the one time I ate in the MDR, I went at 5:30. Did they limit the pools and hot tubs? Nope. I did not see any limitations on the pools and hot tubs. The only place where there was a sign for limitations was a limit of 4 on the elevator if there wasn't, like, if you weren't with the same party, but it wasn't that big deal. Any complaints about the buffet closed for dinner? Nobody that I was with complained about the buffet being closed for dinner, but there were plenty of people complaining on the cruise ship from the moment that the cruise started until the cruise ended, which kind of blew my mind a little bit. After 15 months, the complainers still found a way to come out and find something to complain about, which blew my mind. But hey, I'm a big cruise fanboy, and so maybe that's on me for always being positive. But man, from the beginning to the end, there were people complaining about stuff. Let's see. Chat between your friends. No, I was on the internet, and so I used Facebook Messenger and text message. A lot of cleaning on the ship, a lot of sanitizing, sanitation everywhere before you could do anything, before you could go into a show, before you could go eat. They made sure that you sanitize your hands. There was a lot of hand washing, so that was pretty cool. Pretty cool. Let's see. Duck à l'orange. This is a inside joke between Stephen Z and John. It was very funny. Let's see. Question, James P. Do I think Alaska is still going this summer and fall? Yeah, I do. I haven't heard any reason why it wouldn't. So, yeah, Valencia was there. She was in full effect with the Zanganos. Man, so many great people that we met on this cruise. It was pretty crazy. Crazy. Yes, the complainers need a hobby. Well, their hobby was cruising this week. Nah, I understand. I mean, people paid a lot of money, so, I mean, I guess, like, here's my take on it. Like, if you're going to pay a lot of money and be super concerned about it, like having the best vacation ever, don't go on the first cruise after cruising hasn't been going for 15 months, because you would have, like, going into it, you would have to anticipate that there would be challenges. Was the COVID test free to get on the ship? Thank you so much, Tomaine Jordan, for the super chat.
Super chat.
So yeah, they sprang that first COVID test on us about 2 days before the cruise. It was included. They had contracted a company to give us those tests as part of the embarkation process, and then the test to return to the United States that was given on the cruise ship 2 or 3 days before the cruise was over. Those were included in the cruise price. Now, the next sailing, I believe they had to get a test before they came to the Bahamas, and that was on their own dime. We didn't have that requirement, and but I do believe if they had their test going back to the U.S. will still be covered. So, oh, I think we can get to 1,000 likes. That's right. Question. So Alaska joined with Florida, so why would the Alaska cruise not be affected? So if you go read all those legal documents, they did join. There's a whole motion for Alaska to join. There's a motion for Texas to join. The judge ruled on the merits of the Florida case, not the adjournment. I don't know if that's the correct legal term, but I do believe that's what it is. And so he ruled specifically on the merits of the Florida case about Florida being disadvantaged by no cruising. And so his ruling is about the CSO in Florida without consideration for Alaska and Texas. I believe that's true. William Harris, did Jenny miss me? Nope. I called every night. She would never take my call. I got photographs of her at the casino at the Hard Rock. I think she barely knew I was gone. So how about that? How about that? Question, how was the dining room compared to normal? I mean, it seems similar. I went on lobster night. I had lobster and beef and creme brulee and escargot and shrimp cocktail. Seemed like the same old cruise food to me. I loved it. It was delicious. It was delicious. Yay, we got to 1,000 like you guys do well. Will Adventure of the Seas increase capacity anytime soon? No idea. I would think so if, again, if the protocols are working and stuff. Love all your content. Thank you, Daniel Hill, for the kind comment. Looking for questions. The Norwegian gym is still scheduled for leaving Miami August. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really checked in with NCL. I know that they were, again, they pushed most of their stuff till August. So I think they're probably trying to get crewed up and trying to figure out where they can cruise from and all that stuff. Question, do you think the COVID protocols will lead to more sanitation protocols against norovirus? Yeah, norovirus on cruise ship is almost non-existent. Now, when there is a norovirus outbreak, you do hear it because the media loves to run with it, but there's less norovirus on a cruise ship than like at schools, like at elementary schools or on land. And so the cruise lines for years have put in processes that really basically eliminate norovirus, but every once in a while you get an outbreak, you hear about it, but millions of people cruise without exposure to norovirus. And then when you get an outbreak of a few hundred people, it's like the sky is falling. So, but yeah, the more sanitation can't help against the norovirus. But I've never worried about norovirus on a cruise ship. If you're the unlucky person that gets norovirus on a cruise ship, you should buy a lottery ticket that day. Chuck Spencer thinks I should love the couch. I guess. I mean, Jenny's not even home right now. I think she's at a Starbucks somewhere in town doing this live chat. How about that? Thank you so much for the super chat.
Super chat.
Chuck. Question, do you have to pay for everything at Coco Cay? Is there a place on the beach with chairs at no cost? Josie, I think most of it. Now, I didn't explore it, but yeah, they got public beaches there. Like, the only thing you have to pay for is the water park, and then you'd have to pay for the Coco Cay Beach Club. But the chairs that are right there, they got free food. They're included included chairs. They got an included pool. They got the included beach. You can go on Coco Cay and not spend any money. So it was pretty impressive, that island. Pretty impressive. Let's see. Question, will you be traveling to Roatan, Honduras? I'm a huge fan, and your pages help me. I don't know. Jenny, when we got Roatan on one of these group cruises coming up. I think so. Myra Weinstein, thank you for the super chat. Thanks for all the updates. Love you and Jenny. We love you too, Myra. Thanks so much.
Super chat.
Were there any night activities at Coco Cay? No, the ship did not stay overnight. The casino was open during the day at Coco Cay, but each night the one night we could have stayed overnight, we actually left, went out to sea. Somebody said we took on more water for the salination process. I don't know. You hear a lot of stuff. But we definitely left the dock and then we came back the next day. So there were no nighttime activities on Coco Cay that we were privy to because we were not there. Let's see. How did I feel when I entered the cruise again? So the moment that I had Tinkerbell was when we walked. You walk through this little chain link area and then you could see the cruise ship. And that's when I kind of got emotional and broke down a little bit. And then it was just trying to walk all that way to the cruise ship and take it all in. Again, the gangway that they had there was not the traditional, elevated, air bridge kind of thing. But it was just a walk up on the ramp and walk in. So it was really when I kind of beheld the ship for the first time and realized that I was going on a cruise. It was heavy. I was excited. I was so excited to be there for the first time in 15 months. And I was just there by myself. And it was, it was great. It was great. Question, is the Adventure of the Seas scooter friendly? Yeah, I certainly think so. I saw people in scooters there. And yeah, scooter friendly for sure. No parades on the Royal Promenade. That was one thing, and I don't know if they always do. I do love the Royal Promenade. Let me tell you, this is my third Royal ship. I'm a big fan of the like 4 or 5 deck Royal Promenade open area. They had the little bridge that would make you think that there would be a parade there, but there was no parade. No parade. Let's see. Does it feel safe in Cozumel? I've heard it's changed there a lot for the worse. I didn't go anywhere but Mr. Sancho's. That felt perfectly safe. Again, that's easy peasy. You just get in a cab, take a right, and you end up at Sancho's. So I didn't really walk around there, so I don't know. Do you think 2 days in Coco Cay had too much time? Do you think 2 days in... Like, there was too much time at Coco Cay? No, it was pretty great. I think it was super smart to make Coco Cay the first stop because it was excellent. Everybody had a great time. Again, I did the same thing both days in a row, and I was happy. I was just happy to be in that pool. It was pretty nice. Have I been to any ports that I'm so bored of? No, not really. I've been to a lot of ports multiple times, but, you know, if I'm bored with a port, I just stay on the ship. Most of the time, I don't like to go to the ports anyways. I'm not really a port person, especially in the Caribbean. I don't like the sunshine. I don't like being outside. I don't like water. I don't like sand. So for me, I like ships. And that's really my big thing. Now, I will go, like, I had to go to Sancho's because everybody was going to be there. But there was a lot of sand there, you know, it was, you know, and sunshine. But, you know, sometimes I'll do what I have to do. David Olson, thank you so much for the super chat. And Claude Barclay, thank you for the super chat. I'll be on the Mardi Gras 731. Thanks for your input on the vaccine requirements. Hey, Claude, let me know what they ask you to do. I'd be interested to hear. They're going to have to figure something out. I'm sure they got a plan. Thank you for the super chat.
Super chat.
I faked you out like I was paused. I was just seeing if there's any other questions. With all the new changes, would you rather keep the changes or go back to normal? Well, I mean, I think we're going back to normal, right? But they have to do it in a way that they feel is safe. Like, here's the thing. These cruise lines cannot have some outbreak that ends a cruise, right? This is the whole thing that they're avoiding. So I'm giving them the grace that they need. Whatever they think they need to do to not have an outbreak and shut the business down again. Everybody hates cruising except cruisers. Let's get that in our heads, right? Dig this. Internalize this. Most people who don't like cruising hate cruising, from what I understand, at least in the media and people that I know. It's a petri dish. Everybody's going to get sick and die. It's a prison ship. It's slave labor. All of that stuff, you hear it all the time. And so whatever the cruise lines need to do to get cruising started without it shutting down again, let's just let them do that. And if it's not the way you want to cruise right now, give them 6 months and then get on the cruise ship, because they've got the hardest job to try to get all these people back to work, to get all these ships back in service. And I'm here to support it any way possible. So I'm happy to jump through whatever hoops. But if you're not a hoop jumper and you're spending too much money and it bothers you, don't get on the cruise ship. That's my take on it. And that's not really being harsh or anything, but we got we're like on a big plane on a small runway, and we got just a little runway to take off from. And if we screw that up, the whole thing crashes. That's just my opinion. Chuck Spencer, thank you so much for the super chat. We're going to Roatan on Halloween. Maybe we'll get to hug a sloth there. Rafael Zingano is in the house. Had such a good time hanging out with Rafael, Alana, and Valencia. Yeah. How was having John as a roommate? We had good energy. We had good vibe. I think John and I got on like a house on fire, as they say in the UK. We had a really great time. Let's see. Question, did RCL offer more aggressive discounts due to lower capacity going on a lure? I did hear that this cruise, the prices went down at the end, but everything else that we've been looking at, because of high demand, prices are going up. So I think for a while, prices are going to be going up. Question, did they offer a laundry special when you stuff the bag for a flat price? We'll be traveling with 2. Yeah, the very first day you could stuff a bag and they press your clothes and all that stuff. John took advantage of that. What is the first thing, question, what was the first thing you did when you got home? I don't know. So my flight was delayed coming back from Miami. So when I flew there, I went Tampa to Charlotte, Charlotte to Nassau. And then coming back, I had a better situation. Now, my flight wasn't until late. I sat at the airport for like 4 or 5 hours. Our friend Steven Z is in the house. He had one of those passes at the lounge, so I got to hang out in the lounge with Steven Z. But I left Nassau at 4 p.m. I got to Miami at 5 p.m. My flight from Miami to Tampa was supposed to happen at 7 p.m. And we didn't get off the ground in Miami until 9 p.m. So I don't think I got home until 11. I think Jenny and I just chilled, watched a TV show, and went to bed. So it was pretty cool. Thank you, Daryl McRae. Yeah, it's, I tell you what, look up pattern disruption. If you want to know why I move my eyes so much, my eyebrows, it's by design. How about that? There's a little secret, little YouTube secret for you. Scott McNeil, thank you so much for the super chat. Jeanette Beans, thank you so much for the super chat. Just logged on. I enjoy watching your cruise videos on your trip. Thank you guys for the super chat. Super chat. Question, I thought the issue with the lawsuit in Alaska had to do with the legislation being based on CDC guidelines, which may now go away. Crazy Cat Traveler, here was the CDC's contention. The exemption for the Passenger Vessel Services Act says that any certified cruise ship or any cruise ship that has a conditional sailing certificate could now be exempt from the Passenger Vessel Services Act. Here's the deal. Whatever's going to happen with this conditional sail order will only be applied to Florida. So the conditional sail order, the teeth of the conditional sail order may not apply to Florida. It does not mean it won't apply to Seattle. And so for ships like going out of Seattle, they'll still have to apply for a conditional sailing certificate, at least right now. And so they won't mess up their exemption. So again, the conditional sail order may only go away for Florida. I read about 60 pages of this 124-page document, but reading the last couple pages is where the decision was made, and it deals with the conditional sail order in Florida. It doesn't do away with the conditional sail order everywhere, unless I'm reading that wrong. But I'm pretty sure that's what it means. All right, how about that? Wan Jones, you can say it either way. It's interesting. Coco Key, not K. And the way it's marketed by Royal Caribbean is a perfect day at Coco K. It rhymes. They love it. And but yeah, I understand your opposition to it. But yeah. Let's see. Looking for questions. Questions. So what do you guys do all week? Did you miss the daily news show? That's the question. Man, the internet was challenged. There was some argument, some discussion whether it was because there were so many people trying to use the internet or whether the internet was just bad. That was a whole interesting vibe on the cruise ship. Yeah, the airline prices are going up everywhere. I still have to book my flight to Seattle. So, Marty Cater, thank you so much for the super chat. Thanks for all you do. Glad to do it. Thank you.
Super chat.
Been to Mr. Sancho several times. Any major COVID restrictions there? No, Carrie, once we got in, we dropped the mask and people were close to each other. Yeah, it wasn't a big deal. What percentage of a year would you like to spend on a cruise ship? That's a great question, George. The longest I've been on a cruise ship, I think, is either 8 or 9 days. So I would like to try 14 first. But if I could cruise once a month, that would be kind of cool. I would spend a week a month on a cruise ship, 12 weeks a year, and do the work there. That would be kind of fun. I don't want to repeat the cruise ship. I want to go on a new cruise ship. And so, but yeah, if I could do that, it'd be great. Yes, Annie, Alaska, welcome. I saw Don's title, but I didn't get to watch the video. Canada is talking about opening, the vaccine's starting to happen. That would be very nice. Tony, were you able to get specialty coffee in the Windjammer like I did on Anthem by only having the refreshment package? I didn't ever ask for drinks in the Windjammer, but I did go to the coffee bar and get specialty, like I got Frappuccino and stuff like that, Starbucks branded Frappuccino at the coffee bar at the Cafe Promenade with the refreshment package. I never had to pay anything. Thanks for super chat.
Super chat.
Am I ready to go cruising again? Yeah, the interesting thing that we did, Mark, is we loaded up the next few weeks with a lot of family visits. So we only have 1 week in the middle of July that we could cruise again. So we probably won't cruise again until August. But yeah, I think we're going to be ready. Chicken sandwich question. Chicken sandwich on Coco Cay, overrated or underrated? I've never had them. So I was at the beach club. I had the food over there. But I know Pair DJ, the channel Pair DJ J&D over at Pair DJ, I think they had the chicken sandwich. So if you get a chance, swing by there, and I think they can give you the opinion of it. But I heard that the chicken sandwich and the funnel cake is the thing to have on Coco Cay, and I didn't have either one of them. Question, got lost in the weeds earlier. Suggestion on what to do in Nassau, going on the edge in 2 weeks. We get there at 7 a.m., leaving early at 2:30. We get there at 7 and are leaving early at 2:30 or 2:30. like just to do in Nassau, like I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to stay at the hotel and wait for the cruise. So there's stuff to do there. Like Atlantis is there, and I don't know. For me, the night before the cruise, I want to be super chill. So I don't think I have a good recommendation. I say get some sleep. That's what I say. Get some sleep and be refreshed for your cruise. John says the border will remain closed, but here in Calgary, up here in Canada, the COVID restrictions will be. That's good. We're getting closer. Yes, I thought Jay loved those chicken sandwiches. Thank you, Michelle. Looked like Nautical Nurse Nancy was having fun during that show. Yeah, make sure you guys check out Nautical Nurse Nancy's live show after our show tomorrow night. I think she comes on at 10 p.m. Her cruise did not end as joyous as she was in that Mr. Sancho's clip. Some people will know and some people don't. Do I need to go to Mr. Sancho's? I'm a food vlogger. I mean, the food of it, so they have a lot of food at Mr. Sancho's. I don't know that it's foodie type food, but I do love the coconut shrimp that Steven Z recommended. Yeah, it's great. I mean, there's a lot of good food there, but I don't think it's like, taking pictures for Instagram type food. But Firestorm, the ceviche, like all the food is good there again, but you're just in the sand under what was the word that they taught me? What's that what is that thing called? I don't know. What's the umbrella called that's made out of wherever we were under? I can't remember. James P. question. I saw Don's video on the text that you sent him. Yeah, that was kind of funny. So I did send him the day that we were at Coco Cay. There were like 7 ships moored off of Coco Cay, and I couldn't get good video with it because I just had my phone with me. And so I sent him a video of it, but it was super windy, and he was kind of messaging me like, "Oh, the wind is bad on it." I'm like, "Yeah, that's what it's like on a cruise, don't you know?" And so yeah, John and I were having a lot of fun. John was great as a roommate. Nurse Nancy did not break her leg, but something did happen. I'll let her share it. Question: when the ship goes to Coco Cay, does the casino stay open? It was open, yeah. So I'm pretty sure. Question: was there a change for the water slides on Coco Cay? Congrats on getting. Was there a charge? Yeah, it costs money to get into the water slide part of Coco Cay. I don't know how much, but yeah, you have to pay for that pass. Palapa, that's what it was. That was the word I was trying to learn. Palapa. I just thought it was like a beach, like a coconut umbrella. Thank you. Yes, palapa. Yeah, so that's what the food. I mean, you're sitting on the sand and the food comes under the palapa. It was cool. I took some pictures. I'll try to get that up so that you can see it. But would I go to Sancho's just for the food? I don't know. It was delicious, though. Yeah, now I'm curious about that. I'm sure there's some probably local Cozumel restaurants that are pretty high on the cuisine factor. Cuisine. All right, guys, I can keep going, but if you don't have any more questions, I can get out of here too. Any more questions? We'll give it a few more minutes for question. Let's see. How much is the cab ride from Sancho's and Cozumel? It was about $40. I mean, we included some tip money, 40, 45, something like that. It cost something for the water park on Coco Cay, but nothing for the water slide up on the top of the boat. Yeah. No, it doesn't cost anything to ride the water slide on the cruise ship. Next cruise is in August on the Mardi Gras. What is Senior Frogs like in Cozumel? So Kathy, we went to the Royal Caribbean dock, and Senior Frogs is at the Carnival dock. So I don't even know if it was open, but Senior Frogs was open in Freeport. I didn't get off, but I've been there before. It's pretty nice. Rob O, do you recommend using the cruise line to book your airfare, book your own? For this one, I liked using the cruise line because if my COVID test would have come back positive, my airfare would have been included in all of that. Royal would have taken care of getting me home and all of that. I think if I would have booked third party or just booked through the airlines, I might have had to pay extra fees or something on the airline. So, Michael Anto Giovanni, the escargot was good. The challenge is I worked at a fine dining restaurant when I was a younger man, and the way they served escargot there, I've never seen it served like that anywhere else. They put a nice puff pastry over the escargot, and I'm always looking for that puff pastry. But these were good. The ones on the ship were delish. How was the chef table? Same as previously. It's the first time I've been on the chef's table, so it was pretty awesome. I know it was the same for John, so I don't know that he would have the same answer. How smoky was the casino? Not very. You could tell when somebody lit up, though. You could smell it, but overall, the casino not very smoky. No dinner. Yeah, no dinner at the buffet. Nope, the buffet was not open for dinner. I had a couple lunches and a couple breakfasts at the buffet. Did I meet any vloggers that were? Yeah, most everybody is new to me. I've met John once before. I met Para DJ once before. I met Robin Favor once before. But like AK Adventures and Travel Spree. Griffin and Alyssa I met very briefly at Sean's celebration, so it was the first time that I got to hang out with them. Eat, Sleep, Cruise. There were so many people. I know I'm not going to be able to mention them all, and I don't want to offend anybody. But yeah, JJ Cruise. I mean, it's the first time I really got to hang out with a lot of those folks, and it was awesome. It was awesome. Question, does Royal require vaccines out of the Bahamas or just the COVID test? Yeah, this cruise out of the Bahamas fully vaccinated. I didn't see any peer runners. I wasn't looking though, so maybe. If you purchase the internet package, you have to have $1.99 daily too to use the Royal texting app. Yeah, I bet you do. Like that's the way it is on Carnival. So you can get the internet package, but it doesn't include the chat. So you probably would. Do I prefer the energy of a crowded cruise? I like the 1/3 cruise. I don't like crowds. I don't like being touched unnecessarily. Yeah, this was perfect for me. There was great energy. Again, we got like, you know, at that pub, we had a lot of people in the pub. It was really good. Get Jenny back, man. You're missing too many super chats. What's up, Pika? I don't think I missed too many. Rob O. Now you're making me worried. Angela Roman, I answered that one. Specialty Coffee. Marty Cater. Janet Beans just logged on. I answered that. Scott McNeil. Well, if I missed anybody's super chat, I apologize, but I don't see any that I missed. I'm sliding to the bottom. Question. I saw Donzo. Yeah, I already answered that one. Let me get back to the bottom. Robbo. I answered that one. All right. What equipment do you use to record with your iPhone? I just use the iPhone. Like, I do have a mic, but I never hooked it up. So, yeah, I've got to look at that footage. I'm afraid I got some windy footage there, so that might mess me up a little bit. Did Royal move the needle on your preferred cruise line? So, my answer is always my favorite cruise line is my next cruise line. But honestly, I'll be honest about it. Like, if you force me to be loyal to something, I would probably be Royal loyal and Celebrity loyal. I like both of those products. I love the entertainment on... I'm an entertainment person. I love the entertainment on Royal. I think it beats everybody hands down. And I like Celebrity just for the vibe. So that's probably the way I would go. But the cool thing is I don't have to, right? So I don't really have to. They're not making me be loyal. And so I love going on the Carnival cruise on Halloween. And I love trying out the Princess. I'm looking forward to cruising with Dawn on Princess. So the cool thing is I don't have to do that. But like, you know, gun to head, you have to be loyal to a cruise line. Of my experiences so far, I would probably be Royal loyal with Celebrity. I would do both of them. And then I think Jenny, though, on the other side would be Princess loyal. I'm speaking out of turn there, but what song did you sing at karaoke? Man, this karaoke was the weirdest thing, Donna. They had a book, and it seemed like all the hits were not in that book. So like Garth Brooks were only like Garth Brooks songs I'd never heard of before, or I was just struggling to get through that book. And like Roy Orbison, Pretty Woman wasn't there, for example. So at first I chose Elton John's Your Song, but then Jordan from JJ Cruise sang it, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to sing the same song that guy did. So I ended up singing Eric Clapton's Wonderful Tonight. So that was pretty wild. Just did the karaoke one time. Question, how did you like Kieran? Kieran was a super nice guy. It was really great to meet him and spend time with him, and it was pretty cool. Yes, Bob Hader, that's a great question. Did they sanitize the dice after each roller? They sure did. They dropped the whole cup of dice on the table. They sanitized it with a wipe. Then they tried to dry it off, and then they pushed it over. So it was kind of cool. Julie Ochoa, thank you so much for the super chat. Good to see you. Hope you and Eddie are doing well. Can't wait to see you soon. Thank you for super chat.
Super chat.
Let's see. Is it true that Royal charges $7.95 for room service no matter how little you order? That was true in the past. I did not order room service. I'm assuming it would be true now. Yeah, if you're going to get the room service on Royal, it's $7.99 for as little or as much as you could eat. So try everything. That's my deal. Yeah, I mean, I've got a mic with a windsock and all that, but a lot of this cruise was just kind of run and gun. Hope Pika's got the video of the karaoke. Were there children on the cruise? Yeah, I don't know how many, but there were definitely children. Probably less than 20, I would think. Yeah, Michael Engel. I don't like going to the ports, so I like the ship better. So I don't know what that means, but yeah. The cool thing about cruising is you can cruise any way you want, and for most people it's a no judgment thing, but for some people maybe they are a little judgy. I don't know. Maybe you can pay for my cruise. Let's see. Hey Tony, good to hear your cruise went at the very least somewhat pleasurable. No, it was way pleasurable. What would you hope the most recent cruise sets up for the future of cruising as far as guidelines go and such? What I'd like to see is just a continuing. So this was a great first cruise. Again, there wasn't much different than cruising in 2019. I mean, there were some stickers on the floor, and you had to make a reservation and go to the buffet. But I've been on Oasis of the Seas where I had to reserve my shows anyways. This was pretty close, so I just want them to keep going forward and doing this. I really hope that cruise lines offer some vaccine-only cruises where you don't have to, worry about it and you can go without the protocols. It would be great if we got to the point in this country where, everything's so normalized that we don't need protocols at all and we can just all cruise together. I think we'll get there eventually, but for the restart of cruising, it's going to be pretty cautious, and there's some cruises I'll be happy to jump on and probably some cruises that I would avoid. So I'm pretty excited about it. Let's see. Carl B. Thank you for the super chat. Halloween on the Inspiration 2013. It was awesome. Funny you mentioned Halloween. Love your videos of the last cruise. Keep up the good work, kid. Thank you so much, Carl. Yeah, I love Halloween on Carnival. It is, Carnival has such a fun vibe. They decorate so well on Halloween. It's a blast. Let's see. What does it cost to go to Mr. Sancho's? $5 deposit and then $55 when you get there. $60 altogether. They had sales on watches, purses, and t-shirts, the whole 9 yards. Paul, I brought Jenny B home some purses. I should have cut off the super cheap stickers on them, but I think I bought Jenny 3 purses and a wallet or something like that. So yeah. Ever considered a 360-degree camera for a virtual channel? Yeah, I thought about it. I watched like John carry around a 360 camera. Griff from Griff and Alyssa carried around a 360 camera. Their latest, make sure you go check out Griff and Alyssa's latest vlog from the water park at Coco Cay. They got a lot of really cool 360 footage. Yeah, I like it. I just haven't invested in it yet. I probably should. Were they able to assign your Sail and Sign cards to separate credit cards? Yeah. Yeah, Beaches in Texas, that should be true for every cruise line when you're doing your check-in process. The first person that checks in, they're going to be like, hey, put down the credit card. Do you want everybody in your cabin to use this credit card? You just say no at that point, and then when the next person checks in, they put their own credit card in. So yeah, no problem. Man, my bill, any guesses as to how much my bill was for a 7-day cruise? I had $50 onboard credit, and so yeah. I got $50 onboard credit. The Royal Caribbean gifted me the internet through the travel agency side, so I didn't have to pay for internet, but then that's the guess. And John bought my drink package, which I didn't know about because he was getting the alcohol package. So with those two things in mind, I didn't pay for the drink package. I did not pay for internet, and then I pre-ordered my 3-night package. So how much do you think I spent on the cruise? How about that? What was my final bill? Can you explain what a group cruise with Lido Loca entails? I'm a newbie. Yeah, so basically what a group cruise is, and it may be a little different. We just got some news from Carnival that they are right now limiting social gatherings. So normally it would be a deal where we have a meet and greet on the cruise. We normally have a cruise cocktail party. We do some events like putt-putt tournament and karaoke sing together. We have some connection points. That's the way I like to look at them. We don't plan your whole cruise or anything like that, but basically we have some points during the cruise where we can connect and meet each other. It really turns out to be a way to meet a lot of new people and get a lot of new friends. And we always try to have like all of the dining together. And so we can get together at dinner, we can check it out. What Jenny and I try to do on these group cruises is we try to move around from table to table for each dinner so that we can spend time with everybody at dinner. We'll usually book like one excursion for the group. But it's one of those deals where you'll get to cruise with us. There'll be some group activities, but the majority of the cruise is however you want to cruise it. You can spend as little time or as much time. And then like for me, I barely sleep on that thing because I want to make sure that everybody has a great time. We usually have a meetup in the beginning. They're getting bigger, so I don't know what it's going to be like. And now with the COVID, I don't know what it's going to be like. But yeah, what we found is people come together on a group cruise. They get to hang out. They get to meet us. But we do see a lot of friendships growing out of this. And it's really a nice way to be connected to the community. It doesn't cost anything extra to go on these group cruises. A lot of times we have special group pricing and group amenities. But yeah, I hope that explains it. I spent $89 on the cruise. That was my final tally. $89 after 7 weeks, and that was buying purses. In addition, and that included buying purses. $89. I mean, I took cash for the casino, so again, I won every night there, but I ended up tipping the dealers quite a bit, so I don't really count that as a loss. But I was trying to, I think on these first cruises, if you have some extra coin, man, give it to these people that haven't been working in 15 months. That's kind of my approach. Have you ever cruised out of New Orleans? No, I have not. I think it's on the books, though, for 2023. I'm looking forward to going there. I want to go to Cafe Du Mont. Talk about good food. Like the restaurant that I worked at did tableside dining. We would cut a rack of lamb. We'd make a Caesar salad, and we would also make Bananas Foster. And I know Bananas Foster originated in New Orleans. I can't remember the name of the restaurant, but good food in New Orleans. When is the VE cruise? Is that the vlogger cruise? January 2023, I think. Aunt Lala coming in with a big, she's made her announcement. Where you been? Like, you haven't been first on these videos lately. No, I'm just kidding. Glad to have you. Let's see. Next group cruise is October. Oh, Karen said $89.99. That's pretty close. I need to look at the bill, but I do think that $89.99. That's pretty funny. That's true. Hello, Bristol Woods. Glad to see you. We haven't seen you in a bit. Thank you. Yeah, I was surprised. I kept pulling it up, and it was only $89. I was like, wow, that's crazy. Crazy, crazy. Have I heard anything regarding Oasis cruising from Bayonne in September? I have not. I did think I heard Bayonne in October, or at least Bayonne would open in, not October, in August, but I don't know who's up there. 61 days to the Mardi Gras. Yes, Tinkerbell, we're going to be there. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. Brennan's, that's what it is. Thank you, Tom. Yeah, it's been, man, when I was making Bananas Foster, that was like in 93 or 94. That's how long ago it was. 93 and 94. How about the late snack at the buffet? No, buffet was not open for dinner, but the Cafe Promenade was open every night, I think, to like 2 or 3 in the morning, or it could have been 24 hours. I don't know. It was always open when I went there at like 3 or 4 in the morning. They had pizza and they had sandwiches. They had unlimited prosciutto. Every night I would get prosciutto and late night pizza, and it was delish. J Max Wrench, thank you so much for the super chat. Got canceled today. Freedom on July the 2nd. They called a week before to ask my vaccine status. Pretty sure that had something to do with the cancellation. So Jay, they asked you if you were vaccinated, and based on your answer, they canceled you right there on the spot. Is that what you're telling me? Thank you for the super chat.
Super chat.
Yeah, so maybe that's how Carnival's, or Freedom of the Seas. Is it Freedom of the Seas? Does Carnival have a Freedom ship, or is that Royal? Or is that Carnival Freedom? There is a Freedom on Carnival. Are you Carnival or Royal? If that's Carnival, it's interesting. Thank you, Steve, for the super chat. Steve Ostrowski, appreciate the super chat. Very generous. Thank you so much.
Super chat.
Let's see. Tess is going to go with Sharon at Sea in September on the Mardi Gras. That's going to be awesome. Yeah, we're going to sneak in there a week or two before. It would be great. Have a tip jar. I put random change in, and one's a month before the cruise for extra tipping because the crew deserves it. Way to go, Tess. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. When you were at Perfect Day, Tony, did you check out the Snack Shack? Tyler Shaw, I did not. Like, look, it was so weird. I got on the cruise ship, and I was all like ready to go and just blah, that kind of thing. And then it just hit me that we've been working really hard for 15 months, and I wanted to make sure I captured stuff for you guys, but at the same time wanted to take it all in. So I just ended up 2 days at the beach club, and I did get good footage of that. But, because I couldn't upload and the internet wasn't working, I kind of just took it as the universe going, won't you chill out for a couple days, Tony, and just enjoy being here at Coco Cay? And that's kind of what I did. So I got to go back to Coco Cay because I want to see. I saw, like, on the tram, I saw the floating bar, and I saw all the included food. And I'm like, oh, I want to go back there and check it out. So, oh, thank you, Steve. Steve Ostrowski. You know why? Because I'm a Howard Stern fan, and his wife is Beth Ostrowski, and I'm pretty sure it's spelled the same way. So, I mean, I'm just letting you in why I got it right, but I'm pretty sure. Did they have any deep dish pizza on the cruise? Not that I know of. It was pretty much, I'm pretty sure it's the same, like, Sorrento's type pizza, and it was delish. It was delish. No idea how long any cruise line will reduce capacity. I don't know. Are they going to limit? You know, again, I think all this is going to be slow. 2021 is going to be like trying to get restarted, kind of like the engine's cold. You're trying to get the juice back in the battery. So I really think that, yeah, I don't think cruising is going to be all the way live from, you know, all up to speed until, you know, a few months down the road. Brad Wheeler, thank you so much for the super chat.
Super chat.
Sandra Thomas, good. Oh, she was banned from. Oh. Yeah, nobody was banned from live streaming. The Royal was happy to have us all here. I talked to a lot of crew members. They were super happy to have the exposure from the vlogging community. So, yeah, it was. I tell you what, I really didn't understand how appreciated the vlogging community was until we got on that cruise ship, and so much of the crew excited for us to be there. So, bye, Beachy Mama. Have a good night. Let's see. Of all our cruises, this one was super special because, I mean, I hated that Jenny wasn't there, but it was special because this is probably the longest since I've been cruising. It definitely was the longest since I started cruising that I had to wait to go on a cruise. And so much of my normalcy is based on going on cruises. Like, that's the life we built over 4 years, and going on cruises is part of our normal activity. It's part of our job. It's, you know, it's our life. It's that cruise life. And so to be out of it for so long was really weird, and then being able to go back on it was really special. So it's really good. Would I do the beach club again, and how much was it? Love the video. I think I paid $100 a day. I think it's normally $170 a day. I probably would not do that at 170. I probably would not do it at 100 unless it was something that I had missed out on. Like, I'm assuming maybe at full capacity, it might be hard to get the chairs in the free area. And so the beach club gives you a place where you can go where you definitely could get a chair, and it's got some elevated food. But I don't even think it was worth 100. So I probably wouldn't. There might be other people that would, but for me, probably not. Let's see. 90 days till Odyssey. That's awesome. Question, did reservations require an app? Yeah, so I don't know. Like, this is the best question, and I don't really know the answer to it. What if you didn't have a smartphone? What if you didn't have the app? Everything that I did required the app. So I'm sure there's people that don't have smartphones. I know there's people that don't want to carry the phone while they're on the cruise. And so I don't know how you would do that. That's a great question. I'm not sure how to get the answer to that, but that is a great question. Megan Lynch, did I meet Jordan from the ice skating show? I did not. I left a couple messages on her videos that I'd seen the show, that kind of thing, but never had the opportunity to meet her. I did watch the show a couple times. It was really good. Any unruly cruisers expecting pre-COVID experience or complaining loudly in the theater seat? Nope. I didn't hear that kind of complaining. Nobody complaining about the protocols. There was some complaining about how the process worked, you know, getting from the Colonial Grand Hilton over to the cruise ship. Some people not happy with the bus situation. Some people not happy with the internet. Some people not happy with the app. But again, cruising was pretty normal, so I don't think anybody was too upset about the protocols, because it was pretty chill. Did I see the Overwater Bungalow? Yeah, I did. I know Raphael's going to have some great footage of it. He was able to actually go and partake and check out the bungalow, but they were there. They looked pretty cool, so it was pretty nice. Let's see. From what I could tell, the only difference was the food. Yeah, that's true. I mean, the food was okay, but again, it wasn't crazy. It wasn't crazy. Yeah, 95.3 subscribers. If you're brand new here, please consider subscribing. Get us to 100,000. Michael Engel, that's not true. Nobody was banned. Michael, if you keep saying that, you're gonna have to go. So I mean, that's not true. Nancy did live streams the whole time. It's I don't know what your agenda is there, but you guys take a look at Michael Engel. If he keeps up with the same stuff, you have to get him out. I hate the trolls keep trying to win the day. Let's see. Service counter if your phone isn't working for reservations. That's a good point. The table games open to the casino. Yeah, Texas Hold'em. So I didn't see all of the casino. Somebody asked this. On the craps table, like each craps side would hold normally 8 people. They allowed 3 on each side. And so I believe for every table there would be like, you'd have to skip a seat. But all the table games are open. The slots were staggered, right? One open, one closed. I think a lot of people had a really good time in the casino. Casino bar was always open late, Like you'd swing by there late and there'd be a crowd down there. So that was pretty cool. Pretty cool. Question: if you had to choose an excursion, would it be eating home-cooked potatoes or throwing kids' shoe in the mailbox at the Porter's? I would always throw shoes in the mailbox, Doug. That's my favorite thing to do. No. Pay no mind, Pika. People are just trying to be trolly. Don't sweat it. When's my next Royal Cruise? Jenny, when is our next Royal Cruise? I think we're on one of the Oasis classes for a group cruise next year. I'd like to go on the Odyssey though when the opportunity comes. Did they allow filming in the show? In the past it was not allowed. Only still pics with no flash. They copyright their shows. Yeah, Sharon, so the way I sit there and I listen to every announcement. If they say don't film it, I don't film it. There was no prohibition against filming the shows. I don't ever sit and film a whole show. I always film a couple minutes. Not even a couple minutes, but I try to film like 3-4 second segments or something. So when I vlog it, you can get a sense of the show, but none of the shows were, don't film. So that's always kind of nice. Let's see. Did they have a comedy show in the theater? Yeah, I didn't think there was a comedian, but they did have a comedian. I caught the comedy show toward the end of the cruise, which was good. Okay, we don't have anything Royal booked as yet, but one of our goals is to go on all the Oasis class cruise ships, so eventually we will get there. Matthew Fitzgerald, don't be a snob, man. I've been on some really great cruise lines. I've been on some lines that are nicer than Royal. Royal's pretty nice. No practical jokes on John. No, we were just living that cruise life, trying to get all that footage. What does $60 at Sancho's get you? It gets you all the alcohol that you can drink. Some people are into that. Gets you all the coconut shrimp you can eat. It gets you a full menu of food and drink, access to the pools and the beach. So really, you're paying the $60 for all the food and drink that you can handle. Really. How are they seating the main dining room by your cabin or traveling party? I think you can still link stuff together. It's going to be by your traveling party. I know that the Q's Cruisers and Nurse Nancy, I don't know how they got linked up together. They were obviously not staying in the same cabin, and so you can definitely do it. How was the juggling? Meg, it was. I love juggling. I love people that do their thing live. That show was a little challenging. I did do some video of it. I'll show it to you. It's pretty interesting. Thank you, Nadine. I loved your cruise on Adventure. Did you have to make reservations for the Windjammer this time? You did have to make reservations, but they also had a no reservation line. And at least once I made reservations, but probably most of the time I just walked and got in the no reservation line. Linda, thanks for catching the live show. What's your go-to package if any food, drinks, alcohol? Go-to package. I like to try the specialty restaurant. So on that one, I had the 3 specialty restaurant dining. And it was, again, John was kind enough to gift me the refreshment package for soda and stuff. Because to have the drink package on Royal, each person has to have a package. But the cool thing is they both don't have to have the drink package, which was nice. Let's see. Yeah, I tell you what. Now I did have I probably had 4 drinks at Mr. Sancho's, and when we got in the pool, they gave me this thing called Purple Rain. That will hurt you. Be careful if you go to Mr. Sancho's and you get the Purple Rain. Pretty interesting. Would you ever fly to the Bahamas again for? Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a bad experience. The Bahamas, it was nice. I was able to get in and out of there okay. It was super cool. So I would do it if I didn't have any other options. But if you're telling me I can go from any one of the Florida ports, which are no further than 6 hours from my house, I'm going to do that all day long. Any problem with e-muster drill? And if you don't complete, what happens? I heard from a pair of DJs that some people didn't do it. I don't know what happens. Again, I tried to watch the videos, and then you have to certify that you watch the videos. That failed for me. I got an error on the app. The only thing that we did is we went to the muster drill and got signed off that way. I'm assuming that they're going to hunt you down if you don't do it and make you do it, or like some people said that people were kind of getting kicked off the ship. I don't know if that's what they were getting kicked off before. Are the towel animals that you destroyed protected by the Endangered Species Act? Crazy Cat Traveler, I'm going to break some news to you. They're just towels. They're just folded up towels. They're not real animals. They're not towel babies. No, I don't think any of them were protected, and they were easily destroyed. I only destroyed the elephant, and it was just on principle. Wink, wink. When does the remaining balance pull from your card for Mr. Sancho's before at arrival? Yeah, I presented a credit card at Mr. Sancho's, so I paid the $5 deposit, and then when I got there, I gave him a credit card for the $55. That happens right then. How easy was it to get a cab back? Easy. They have a cab stand right there with cabs lined up. Just the same way when you leave the port, they got a cab stand with cabs lined up ready to take you to Sancho's, and then in the afternoon, you get a cab. Toot sweet, really quick. So it was nice. Let's see. Did you book? No, Mr. Sancho's was third party, so you just booked that online yourself. Yes, Linky, that Purple Rain was pretty interesting. Let's see. What's up, Mom? My mom's in the house. Everybody say hello to my beautiful mother, Sharon. Good to see you, Momsy. Did I miss the answer to the question of what your balance was? You probably did, Chuck. It was $89. That's right, Tess. It's just a towel. Come on now. We could be environmentally friendly by getting rid of these towel animals altogether, and they could just give us chocolate. Yeah, you know, I think the muster worked really well for people that hit it early. I don't know that it was overwhelmed or anything, but yeah, when we started doing the muster, it didn't seem like it worked. Are the rooms and sheets changed daily? I don't know how often they're changing the sheets, but the cycle was the same. They would clean the room in the morning, and then they would turn down at night. So yeah, our room was cleaned every day. We had turn down service at night, so it was nice. How was the Diamond Club working? I don't know. I met a few people that were there. They had a special thing where maybe, I don't know what level, so I'm going to say it wrong, but some certain level got like 4 drinks a day, and there was a Diamond Club and all that. I don't really know what's going on there, but yeah, it sounded like they had something going for them. Mr. Sancho's adults only. That's a great question, Megan. I don't know. I feel like I saw kids there, but I'm not sure. Are the rooms in... Yeah, I don't know, Lisa. Let's see, what's going on with the kids club? I heard somebody mentioned that Matt from Royal Caribbean blog said that his kids were in the kids club. I had heard that the kids club were closed, but it could have been open. But there weren't that many kids on the cruise, so it's hard to say. Yeah, you get the chocolate on Celebrity. Maybe that's why I like Celebrity, because they give it. Yes, I am a chocolate snob. Put it on the pillow. Yeah, Pika, were you able to do the muster, or did you have to go to the place? It worked. It was cool. Even going to the place, it was cool. There was not a crowd of people, so it was great. Thank you, ArubaKid99. Great blogging from the cruise. So looking forward to cruising again. Thank you. Did Royal Caribbean ask you for any feedback from your experience? Do you feel like a test cruise at all? No, it felt like a regular cruise. I'm sure they've asked for feedback in my email, and I haven't looked at it yet. But it certainly... I think they did a cruise before in the Bahamas with Royal employees. I believe that that's true. So this was definitely not a test cruise for them. It was pretty good. Sancho's is not adults only. Thank you, Matt. Are they still offering the Key program? Is it worth it? In normal times, it does seem like the Key program is worth it. I don't know that they're offering it here in 2021. We'll have to see. Did they do any poolside events or sail away party? I never go up for that. I do feel like they might have had a little sail away party. I believe I saw like on Griff and Alyssa's video that people were dancing and such. That could have just been random people dancing and such. I believe it was Nurse Nancy before she got injured, but yeah, I don't... I think they probably did have an event. Yes, Monique C is in the right camp. She'll take the chocolate over the towel animals. No snack machines on cruise ships, but there's food everywhere, so you don't have to worry about a machine. See ya, Ellen. Have a good night. Thanks for being here. Do you know if they alternate cabins between voyages? I don't know. We've got friends that are on there now that are back-to-back. They're in the same cabin. I did not go to the spa, Steve. So, yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, we're going to wrap it up. I know Sharon at Sea's got their show in 15 minutes, so I don't know how much the Key program is. Pika had to go to the place. Had the same issue. Okay, that's cool. Nachi Kakom is adults only. Yeah, and that's all right on the same road. Is the surfboard like when you ride it on a wave? Is the surfboard like when you ride... Which surfboard? I don't know. I didn't see a surfboard. Yes, Tess. Nancy got hurt. I'm sure they're going to tell that story. I don't want to ruin the story, but Nancy got injured toward the end. Yeah, Pear DJ filmed the sail away. Was there a party there, Queen Beat, or was it just leaving? Favorite entertainment on the ship? Now, you know I got to still make that video, Jenner's Patter Cruising channel, but let's talk about the first show. It was an Argentinian dance troupe called Impact. I think it was like 5 dudes and 1 lovely lady. They started the show off playing cajones, which is a percussion instrument. It's the most cajones I'd ever seen on a stage at once. That's a little bit of a dad joke there. But yeah, they did like some like manly Argentinian dancing. It was really good. I did meet Jojo and Kyle. That's a good question, Chad. I didn't know those guys. They're Disney vloggers. And at one point, John actually loaned them some clothes for formal night. So yeah, it was nice. I met so many people. It was crazy. Is the skating rink usable for passengers? Yes. You could even get injured there. But yeah, there was an open skate on the last day of the cruise. Will we be allowed to have a group meeting on the Lido if Carnival won't let us have one inside on October? Still to be determined, Douglas. We got the email saying that they were cutting back on some of our group interaction. And so hopefully with that many people, we'll figure something out. Oh, good, Ali. She told the story. Yeah, I don't know if they got video of it too, which should be interesting. Let's see. Did we go for 2 twin beds or the full Royal King bed experience? We did 2 twin beds, and for somebody my size, that was a little challenging. I ended up sleeping on my side most of the time, but yeah, it worked out pretty well. They were comfortable. Let's see. Quick significance of Mr. Sancho's. It's just a popular place to go, especially with groups. It's a third-party place to go to. Like, it's not a ship excursion. It's a nice beach club. That's probably the best way to describe it. There's a beach there. There's pools with a swim-up bar. It's all the included drinks and food you can handle. You can. They have one of those floating parks there. You could rent a jet ski, but a lot of people go there. $60. I think most people find it to be a good value. Were the craps limits? Did they open them? Keep them $5 minimum, Scott, which was nice because I was just playing my normal $100 buy-in. $5 minimum, single odds, which annoys me a little bit, but that's that cruise life gambling. But yeah, it was good. Did I wear a tux on formal night? Nope. No tux, no tie, just a button-down shirt and slacks. Nurse, I don't know that he overpacked, but he was generous with his clothes, so. He did have a different outfit to wear. Are we going on the Mardi Gras inaugural? We are not. We'll be there probably 3 weeks after that. Shakira, I'm probably saying that wrong. So happy to finally catch you live. Love your vlogs. My #1 guy for info. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Was the food good on Coco Cay? I was in the beach club, so one day I had the lobster tail, the lobster tail was okay. The next day I had the filet, which was really good. And then later when John ate his lunch, I went back for second lunch and had the coconut encrusted lobster sandwich, which was pretty good. So I'm going to do a food review. I got all that stuff filmed and I'll try to rank them. So make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure that you are subscribed. We're winding down. We got 12 more minutes. Get your final questions in. I think we talked a lot about the cruise. So, but any lingering cruise questions? We'll be back tomorrow night for another live show with Jenny and I. Just the normal cutting up, talking about cruising. So yeah. Oh, I get what you're saying, sir. The surfboard, yeah, the flow rider. Yeah, I didn't do the flow rider, but a lot of the vloggers did the flow rider. That'll be out on a lot of vlogs. And then I met this guy and his wife on the cruise, Tom. He's a super nice guy. He's a doctor down there in Texas. And I got some footage of Tom on the flow rider, and I'll be sharing that along the way. Question: have I heard anything about the Allure sailings for September? I have not. I don't know anything new. Allure, where's that out of? Is that Miami? I'm not sure. Nurse Nancy injured her leg ice skating, Douglas. Let's see. Yeah, Joe K will have another live tomorrow night. Yeah, the coconut encrusted lobster was pretty decent. It was a little dry though, but it was good. Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate it. Question: how long did you get at Mr. Sancho's? I didn't really time it. I don't know. There were other people that were the official timekeepers. So I feel like we ate for an hour, and then I feel like we got in the pool for an hour, and then I feel like we probably spent another hour outside the pool celebrating with cake and meeting Jay from the Ship Life. I would probably say 3 hours. If I don't know if anybody knows, if anybody here knows that, but I feel like it was 3 hours. Am I still trying to lose some weight? Not really. I mean, honestly, if I was, I'd be doing better at it. No, I didn't really try very hard, but I do need to lose some weight, but I haven't really been trying. Let's see. I don't know what port they'll replace Grand Cayman with. I know they pulled it off some itineraries. Right now, you know, the super friendly ports are, of course, the Bahamian ports and the Mexican ports. So, let's see. Any other questions? How long? Yeah, I answered that one. Smooth sailing for the startup in the U.S. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Otis, I was able to book outside excursions in both Cozumel and Freeport. Did you count the club beach too? I don't think I know what that means. I don't have anything booked on Odyssey. I was very tempted to try to get on one in January until they pushed out, or not January, in July until they pushed that out, but I did not see the sign at Margaritaville, which was pretty amazing. There was a sign at Margaritaville welcoming me to Cozumel and inviting me to come to Margaritaville, and I didn't know about it until I got back on the ship, or I would have stopped by, which is pretty cool. Fish manicure at Sancho's. I didn't walk that far down, but it did look like there were people coming by asking if you wanted massages and stuff, so I would assume that the fish pedicure was there also. Since you brought a new camera, did it work? Yeah, this camera's great. I love the A7C. It fit well in my hand. I filmed a lot with it. Very excited with that camera. When are you going to chat on YouTube with Ship Life, seeing that one in Mexico was not too good? I had a great time with Jay. It was so nice to meet Jay and his girl there. Yeah, I think when he comes back, we're going to try to hook up. But yeah, it was, I don't know, man. I was excited to see him there. I wish he would have been there longer. But it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Yeah, the Duncan is almost gone. The hour is drawing nigh. Yeah, I miss seeing Jenny's beautiful face too. That's why I carried a picture of her everywhere I went. And then I would show them to random people. It was kind of odd, but it was cool. How are the washrooms and shower? Small for you to fit in? Yeah, so like on Royal, it was the same old shower pod. So I like it. You know, you can just get in there and close the door and go wild. Yeah, no problem in the bathroom. And most everywhere I went had armless chairs. So it was pretty fluffy friendly on this cruise. Do you prefer the private island versus a regular port? Again, I'm not a big port person. Like I want to start cruising to Europe because I want to go check some of that out. But yeah, I don't know. Like I like going to places. I've had a good time in Nassau before, walking around and seeing stuff. But there was also something pretty sweet about the private island where it was just kind of an extension of the cruise ship. How normal do I think cruising will be in January? I think we're going to be getting pretty close in January, honestly. Any lobster rolls on the ship? I don't think I had a lobster roll. Man, I had lobster a lot, though. I had lobster on lobster night, lobster at the beach club. There was a lot of lobster everywhere. Yeah, Karen, Jay's girlfriend is very nice. It was nice to meet her. Let's see. What camera do you recommend for beginners for basic family home videos? I would just say get a really good cell phone and then try to put some sort of microphone on that cell phone. Because as long as you can hear the person pretty well, there's some forgiveness for bad video. But most cell phones have really good video also, and so it's just the audio that you have to overcome. And then like another really good kind of beginner camera is the GoPro, and you can also put a mic on those when you're not getting them wet. But I like the GoPro because you can get it wet, and then but it also just takes a nice wide big shot. I mean, it's not like cinematic where you get kind of background blur or anything, but it does a great job, and you can just point it at anything and get a really good shot. Yeah, so John, if you guys don't know John, that's John from the Ship Show. You got to check John out. And then I met another John on there that has a channel. He's got like a big full beard. That was called 1AM, 1AM, which is pretty cool. My only concern that ports welcome us are those that need the money, which is understandable, but that means the sea isn't much of an issue. Why I think Cayman isn't fully open. Yeah, I mean, that's the challenging thing. Like, I was a little more compelled to go to port this time because there's a lot of businesses there that are hurting. And so it's interesting. I mean, they need the, they need the tourism. But yeah, pretty interesting. Don has a group cruise to Europe and he's on one of the Holland America ones, I think. Insurance worth it on an RC cruise now with their future cruise credit? I always get cruise insurance. Like, I don't know if you're saying, like, I always get cruise insurance that has a health rider on it and an evacuation rider on it. So yeah, I don't cruise without insurance. microphone, like there's this thing called the Rode Micro. You have to get a special attachment for it, but it's got a really nice windsock on it. It's really kind of small, and it's not too bad. Yeah, 1 a.m. That guy was, yeah, that guy was cool. I talked to him a couple times. Johnny Rockets was open. We did Johnny Rockets one night. It was pretty cool. Looking forward to Alaska with you and Don in September. Yeah, I can't wait to do that. I don't know if they held the belly flop contest. I didn't do much on the, in addition to not, look, I'm a nighttime inside person, so I don't know what was going on the Lido. I got up early morning and filmed the Lido. I would go to the Lido when it was dark, but yeah, I don't. Did I receive the certificate from Royal on the first comeback cruising? Yeah, I do. I have a certificate in my bag. I'll have to show that tomorrow night. It's pretty cool. What day am I going to Alaska? The 12th of September, I believe. 12th of September. Any word back-to-back cruises? Yeah, back-to-back cruises are allowed. We have friends that are on back-to-back right now. I have not tried the Pocket 2. I own the Pocket 1, so I used that in the Bahamas. I haven't looked at the footage yet, but I've used the Pocket 1 on a lot of cruises when I was in Asia, for example, so it's kind of cool. Let's see. Diamond Lounge open for Diamond. Yeah, there was a Diamond Lounge open. I don't know what the full... Since I'm not in that, I'm not sure who was getting in, who wasn't getting in. Yeah, let me say that to wrap it up. You know, this cruise was not for everybody, but it was very close to the way I like to go cruising. Like, there's nothing that I'm thinking. The only thing that was weird for me was taking those 2 COVID tests and waiting for the results. But nothing during the cruise experience. There was less people. I like less people. There was some social distance. There was a couple times where they're like, oh, you guys need to break up the group a little bit. But other than that, it was pretty much regular cruising, which was awesome. I have looked into annual travel insurance, and probably once it gets going again, we'll probably get an annual plan. Megan O'Shea, thank you for the kind words. Anna Pam, was the internet slower because of live streams of people uploading video? I don't know. Yeah, Sharon at Sea starts at 9. I'm going to get out of here. Yeah, so I don't have any reference on that ship to say that the internet was fast and then it was slow. It was just slow for me the whole time. The staff did dance at Johnny Rockets. All right. Let me get out of here. Thanks, everybody, so much. Thanks, everybody, so much for stopping by. I've talked my voice out. When buying cruise insurance, do you buy through a cruise line or private insurance? I've always bought through the private insurance because I could get more of a health rider, like more of a evac rider, that kind of thing. The internet is always horrible. So, like, I've had really good internet on Royal, on the Spectrum, and on Oasis. I just didn't know what to expect on Adventure of the Seas. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by tonight. Hope you got your question answered. We'll be back tomorrow night at 9 p.m. if you want to talk more cruising. Thanks, everybody, for hitting the like, for subscribing if you're brand new. Thanks for all the super chats. Thanks for all the love. This is Tony with Lido Loca, and until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido.